Naruto God Level System, Chapter 321 to 340. Chapter 321 You are arrogant, I am more arrogant than you. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the arrogant Kumogakure village messenger. His face was blue and purple, and his fists were clenched tightly. In the end, he let out a helpless sigh and let go of his tightly clenched fists. Now that Konoha's situation is so bad, he really can't continue fighting with Kumogakure village. Now that Kumogakure is coming to negotiate peace, Sarutobi Hiruzen can't ask for anything, so no matter how much dissatisfaction there is at this time, it should be kept in my heart. You are the third generation of Hokage. The Kumogakure leader looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen with disdain and contempt in his eyes. An old guy, how much strength can he show? This Kumogakure leader doesn't look down on Sarutobi Hiruzen at all. The distance, Hyuga-chen looked puzzled. He didn't understand where Raikage of the fourth generation came from. Did they send them here as messengers on purpose to discuss Konoha? Hyuga-chen guessed right. They were indeed specially selected by Raikage of the fourth generation and came to discuss Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen was angry that, as Hokage, he was actually looked down upon by Jonin in the outer village. At this tone, Sarutobi Hiruzen finally swallowed and endured it. The environment in your Konoha is really bad. Compared with our Kumogakure village, it's 100 times worse. The leader of Kumogakure looked around in disgust, but his eyes were full of envy and jealousy. Hyuga-chen listened to the words of the leader of Kumogakure and couldn't help laughing out loud. Konoha is the most prosperous among the 5 great ninja villages. He actually has the face to say that Kumogakure village is 100 times more prosperous than Konoha. Even if you want to belittle Konoha in your heart, don't be so exaggerated. Whoever laughed, stand up for me. The leader of Kumogakure listened to the laughter, his body trembling with anger. Sarutobi Hiruzen saw Hyuga-chen in the crowd, and he secretly thought in his heart, and quickly said, "This messenger, should we talk about business?" "Who the hell is laughing? Just give it to me." The leader of Kumogakure shouted, pushing Sarutobi Hiruzen's hand away, trying to pull him away. Sarutobi Hiruzen has a headache and complains about Hyuga-chen in his heart. Why don't you just stay home? Why come out to join in the fun? If the rift between Kumogakure and Konoha is bigger because of Hyuga-chen, Sarutobi Hiruzen can't even cry. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen could only hope, and hope that Hyuga-chen did not see it. But will Hyuga-chen be like that? Looking at this arrogant Kumogakure leader, Hyuga-chen felt unhappy at this moment. It's okay for you to be arrogant, but if you are arrogant to me, then I will tell you who is the grandfather, and I am arrogant, and you are still far from it. It was Lao Su who laughed. Are you not convinced? Hyuga-chen hugged Hinata and walked out slowly. The leader of Kumogakure watched a little white face come out, looked at Hyuga-chan's handsome face, and then thought about his ugly appearance, and a nameless fire surged in his heart. You! Hyuga-chen didn't talk nonsense with him, and slapped him, causing him to turn around a dozen times in place. What are you? Do you still dare to be arrogant? Hyuga-chen said and slapped again. The Kumogakure leader was dizzy after being beaten, and the Kumogakure who came with this Kumogakure leader were unable to move at all, as if an invisible force imprisoned their bodies. Hyuga-chen, you are enough. Sarutobi Hiruzen said in a low voice. If Hyuga Tatsu continues to fight, then Konoha and Kumogakure will be ready to fight. What kind of thing are you? Here is your old man's share. Hyuga-chen looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen with contempt. Just now this guy jumped on the face of the third-generation old man, and the third-generation old guy didn't dare to get angry. Now he slapped this Kumogakure twice, and the third-generation old guy looked at him with a gloomy face. Am I, Hyuga-chen, easy to bully? You! Sarutobi Hiruzen was extremely embarrassed. What are you? Do you think I'm easy to bully? Could it be that he is your father? You protect him like that. Hyuga-chen didn't save face for Sarutobi Hiruzen at all, and slapped Sarutobi Hiruzen directly. Sarutobi Hiruzen was slapped a dozen meters away, knocking over a few unlucky ones, and his old face immediately swelled up. Since you're protecting him like this, then take this slap for him. Hyuga-chan smiled coldly and left with Hinata in his arms. Looking at the person blocking his way, Hyuga-chan slapped him directly. You didn't see me coming, don't you know how to make way for me? Are your eyes on the back of your head? The people around gave way one after another, looking at the arrogant Hyuga-chan in fear, who even dared to hit Hokage. They couldn't afford to offend them anyway. Hyuga-chan arrogantly strode away. Anbu's ninja was stunned by the invisible momentum, and no one dared to move. Sarutobi Hiruzen got up, with anger and hatred in his eyes, but in the end it was all hidden in his heart. 3 generations of Hokage, this matter must give us an account. After Hyuga-chan left, they seemed to have found a vent and aimed at the 3 generations of Hokage. The person who wounded our captain must be arrested and handed over to us. Are you ready to suffer the wrath of our Kumogakure village? Humph. If you want to arrest you yourself, you can't represent Kumogakure village. 3 generations of Hokage snorted coldly, and then left. What is he still doing here, being the laughingstock of others? As for the threat of Kumogakure, now the 3 generations of Hokage are still eager for them to find trouble with Hyuga-chan. 3rd generation of Hokage covered his face and walked away, and the civilians onlookers also left with a look of excitement. Kumogakure stared blankly as everything disappeared in an instant, leaving only the scene of their group, unable to speak for a long time. Not only them, but the Anbu ninjas who stayed to watch over them. What? A Kumogakure asked. Wait until the captain wakes up, and then go to Konoha for an explanation, or we'll kill the Hokage building and fight with Konoha, said the team's second-in-command. This is also a guy with a burnt head. With just 10 of them, they wanted to fight Konoha. With their character and IQ, it is a miracle that they are alive now. The people of Kumogakure village, temporarily staying in Konoha, they not only come to make peace with Konoha, they also have tasks on their shoulders. Task is to capture a Hyuga main clan man and bring it back to Kumogakure village. The village of Kumogakure took a fancy to Kekkei Genkei of the Hyuga family, or someone who wanted to study the power of Hyuga-chen through the Hyuga family. Although it is unlikely that the research will come out, as long as there is a possibility, the 4th generation of Reikage will do it. 4th generation of Reikage also knew that the mission was very dangerous, so he picked some ninjas he hated so much and sent them to Konoha. While disgusting Konoha, even if they are wiped out, the 4th generation of Reikage will not feel distressed. Anyway, the 4th generation of Reikage has long disliked such arrogant guys. Keeping them in Kumogakure village is simply affecting the internal peace of Kumogakure village. Send them out, if they can complete the mission, that's fine, if they can't, it doesn't matter if they die in Konoha. It's a pity that these guys don't know yet, they have been abandoned. Chapter 322 The Death of the Kumogakure Chief. I don't know why, but I always feel that this group of Kumogakure messengers have other purposes, to inform Anbu and strengthen their surveillance. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned and ordered. It has been half a month, as long as they negotiate, Kumogakure's gang will shirk with various excuses, and even say that as long as Hyuga-chan is not handed over to them, Kumogakure and Konoha will fight again. Sarutobi Hiruzen thought it was just a joke, and this group of people did not represent the entire Kumogakure village. But they go around Konoha Kabuto every day. Sarutobi Hiruzen is already suspicious, it's really suspicious of these guys. Are you ready to investigate? Don't worry, Captain, we have already checked everything, and the person who injured the captain is also in the Hyuga family. The leader of Kumogakure nodded, his eyes flashing with cold light, and then said, draw a map for me, you are all disguised, don't let the people of Konoha find out that it is wrong, I will do it tonight. Although these people are arrogant, they still have the ability, otherwise they can still live now because of their character. As a well-known elite jonin in Kumogakure village, the leader of Kumogakure is very strong. He is also ranked in Kumogakure village, but because of his arrogant personality, he is not popular in Kumogakure village. Night fell, the leader of Kumogakure quietly sneaked into the darkness, and the figure disappeared like a ghost. Anbu ninja who kept watching over them didn't notice anything wrong because Kumogakure deliberately drew attention. What's more, the leader of Kumogakure also separated Shadow Clone and let Shadow Clone confuse the sight of Anbu ninja. In the dark, the Kumogakure leader feels like a duck to water, and stealthy sneak attacks are his forte. He can be ranked in Kumogakure villages because of his high concealment skills. He is an ordinary cage-level master, and it is impossible to find him if he is not careful. But what he didn't know was that all his actions were captured by a pair of eyes. Hyuga-chen looked at this guy with great interest. The guys from Kumogakure would come to the periphery of the Hyuga clan if they were okay, and Hyuga-chen naturally understood their purpose. Just that Hyuga-chen is curious, who their goal is this time. As for catching Hinata, that's impossible, because now Hinata lives in his small courtyard. If this guy wants to catch Hinata, Hyuga-chen, who is sitting on the roof, is not watching, and promises to slap his brains out. However, this guy's target wasn't Hinata. Hyuga-chen saw with his own eyes that this guy knocked out the grandson of the chief elder of the Hyuga family, and then quickly went into seclusion. But when he left the Hyuga clan, he was still wandering around the Hyuga clan, as if he was looking for something. What is this guy doing? Do you think that one is not enough to catch and want to catch another? Hyuga-chen sat on the roof and said to himself. The leader of Kumogakure is not what Hyuga-chen thought, but he was looking for Hyuga-chen, and he wanted to avenge the 2 slaps that day. However, before he could find Hyuga-chen, the Hyuga clan was lit up by fire, and the matter of the loss of the Grand Elder's grandson was discovered by the Hyuga clan. At this time, the Kumogakure leader couldn't take revenge anymore, and sneaked into the darkness and quickly escaped. Although his stealth skills are very good, this guy should have a problem with his brain, or he doesn't know Byakugan of the Hyuga family. Turning on Byakugan, the chakra on his body is the light bulb of the night, revealing his position anytime and anywhere. Seeing that someone was doing something at Hyuga's house, Hyuga-Hiyashi chased after him angrily. These days, he was not less angry with Hyuga-chen, and now he wants a thief to provoke him. Hyuga-Hiyashi was angry on the spot. The angry Hyuga-Hiyashi caught up. Hyuga-Hiyashi was not weak, at least stronger than the leader of Kumogakure. Coupled with the fact that the Hyuga family specializes in physique, the speed is very fast. The leader of Kumogakure looked at Hyuga-Hiyashi, who was chasing after him, and his heart tightened. Although he didn't think he would be weaker than the other party, there was a family behind the other party. Although the leader of Kumogakure is arrogant, he is not a fool. He certainly does not have the strength to fight against a family. If you still want to run, stay with me. 8 trigrams vacuum palm. Hyuga-Hiyashi used 8 trigrams vacuum palm while running. 8 trigrams vacuum palm did not exert its maximum power because of the pursuit. Hyuga-Hiyashi did not expect 8 trigrams vacuum palm to kill the opponent. Seeing that the opponent stopped to resist vacuum palm, Hyuga-Hiyashi was overjoyed, speeding up and catching up immediately. After the Kumogakure leader had blocked the vacuum palm, Hyuga-Hiyashi had come to him. Hyuga-Hiyashi stared blankly at this guy in black with his entire body covered. Whoever you are, dare to make trouble in the Hyuga family, you will die today. Humph! The leader of Kumogakure snorted coldly, put down the grandson of the stunned elder Hyuga, and immediately started. There was not much time left for him, and he had to defeat the guy who was blocking the way before the Hyuga clan behind him came. Raiden Thunder style ground walk. With the speed of Hyuga-Hiyashi, how could he be hit so easily? He avoided the attack of the Kumogakure leader at will, and punched him with both punches. The leader of Kumogakure was not a rookie either. He pulled out the ninja sword behind him, a cold light flashed, and the blade pointed directly at Hyuga-Hiyashi's head. 8 trigrams palm revolving heaven. Hyuga-Hiyashi defended revolving heaven from all sides, blocked the Kumogakure leader's knife, and bounced him off. Looking at the leader of Kumogakure, who was thrown out and vomited blood in midair, Hyuga-Hiyashi assumed a gentle fist pose. Gentle fist law 8 trigrams 128 palms. Palm prints in the sky blocked the acupoint of the Kumogakur leader, and the powerful force beat him to the brink of death. Looking at this dying guy, Hyuga Hiyashi slapped again in frustration, which directly hit the opponent's heart. The leader of Kumogakur spewed out several mouthfuls of blood, and the blood was mixed with fragments of internal organs. His eyes widened and he couldn't rest. Not any kid can come to the Hyuga family to make trouble. Hyuga Hiyashi said coldly. Patriarch, the thief has been solved. The people from the Hyuga family rushed over, and the first elder hurried to check on his grandson, and was relieved when he found that he was only unconscious. It's solved, but I don't know who it is, who dared to come to Hyuga's house to seek death. Hyuga Hiyashi crouched down and pulled off the mask of the Kumogakur leader. Seeing the real face of the Kumogakur leader, Hyuga Hiyashi's face sank and he stood up angrily. It's actually those bastards from Kumogakur village. I'm going to find 3 generations. Hyuga Hiyashi mentioned the body of the leader of Kumogakur and rushed towards Hokage's office. Although it was late at night, Hokage was busy with business, and Sarutobi Hiruzen was still working in the Hokage office. Seeing Hyuga Hiyashi coming, Sarutobi Hiruzen was puzzled, and when he saw the dead body in his hand, he stood up suddenly. Hiyashi, what's going on? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked hastily. Chapter 323 Inches The Incarnation of Justice, Hyuga Chen. Lord Hokage, this guy infiltrated our Hyuga family, delusionally wanted to kidnap my grandson of the elder Hyuga, and was killed by me. Hyuga Hiyashi smashed the body of the Kumogakur leader on the ground in frustration. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned. He had long known that the Kumogakur gang was sneaking, but he didn't expect that they were fighting Byakugan's idea. Lord Hokage is still in charge of this matter, and Kumogakur must give an account to our Hyuga family for this matter. Hyuga Hiyashi said toughly. Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent, and now he is also very embarrassed. It is the people of Kumogakur who died. This is not an internal problem of the village, but a diplomatic problem. Okay, I'll let the group of Kumogakur village come over. Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed, and then ordered Anbu to bring the Kumogakur messenger. When the Kumogakur messengers heard the news, they felt bad when they thought about the shadow clone that suddenly disappeared from Captain Kumogakur. Sure enough, when they came to Hokage's office, they saw the body of their captain. How did this happen? How did my captain die? Did you murder my captain? A Kumogakur stood up, staring at Sarutobi Hiruzen with fierce eyes. Hyuga Hiyashi's face turned black, and he was about to get angry immediately. Seeing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen quickly grabbed Hyuga Hiyashi. Don't you know what you did yourself? Hyuga Hiyashi roared. What did we do? Kumogakur asked with a sneer on his face. Don't you dare to admit what you have done. It seems that you are also a group of people without seeds. Hyuga Hiyashi suppressed his anger and sneered plainly. Damn, how dare you say that we don't have a seed? Even if we do something, what can you do to us? One of the Kumogakur said disdainfully. So you're admitting it? Hyuga Hiyashi's voice was low, as piercing as the cold wind. So what if you admit it? What if you don't admit it? What can you do to me? A Kumogakur with darker skin said arrogantly. Sarutobi Hiruzen shivered with anger. Among Konoha, they are still so arrogant, they want to trample Konoha's face under their feet. I'll talk to Reikage about it myself. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at them with a cold look, and the sight shocked them. The people of our Kumogakur village died in your Konoha, and we must give an account to our Kumogakur village. Kumogakur, who had reacted from the shock, became tough again. Coming to Konoha, the 4 generations of Reikage had told them that no matter what they did, the village of Kumogakur was their backing. So now they have the confidence to be arrogant, and they are becoming more and more impolite in the face of the 3 generations of Hokage. Let's go, I will inform Reikage about this matter. Killing is a matter of life. Deputy Captain Kumogakur gave Hyuga Hiyashi a sneer, and then left with the dead Captain Kumogakur. Alas, Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed, sitting on the chair with a sad face. Looking at Hyuga Hiyashi, he couldn't blame Hyuga Hiyashi. After all, it was clearly Kumogaku's fault. Hiyashi, you have to prepare, we Konoha can't stand the toss. Sarutobi Hiruzen said, shaking his head. Hyuga Hiyashi's expression sank, his heart froze slightly, he took a deep look at Sarutobi Hiruzen, then turned his head and left. Hyuga Hiyashi has heard the hidden meaning in the words of the 3 generations of Hokage, and if necessary, he may choose to sacrifice him and use him in exchange for the peace of Konoha. A look of sadness appeared on Hyuga Hiyashi's face. For so many years, the Hyuga family had no credit for Konoha, but the hard work deserved it. Now the practice of Sarutobi Hiruzen let Hyuga Hiyashi feel chills. After Hyuga Hiyashi left, Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed. He knew that doing so would definitely arouse the dissatisfaction of the Hyuga family. But now Konoha is like a broken ship in the middle of the sea, there are big holes everywhere, and it is difficult to repair these holes now, and it can't stand the wind and waves. Konoha suffered heavy losses in the 3 battles. Now Konoha is full of strength, and at most, it will perish with Kumogaku. If the 4th generation Namikaze Minato was still alive, Konoha wouldn't be afraid of anything, but after the 4th generation died, Orochimaru defected, and Jiraiya chose to leave in grief. The main thing is that the Jinchuriki column force of Kyuubi, 9 Tails people has not grown up yet, while the Jinchuriki column force of people from Kumogaku village is said to work perfectly with the tail beast. So at this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen was counseled. Early the next morning, the Hyuga family exploded, and almost everyone in Konoha knew that the leader of Kumogaku died at the hands of the Hyuga family. Some timid villagers kept accusing the Hyuga family, and some people who disliked Kumogaku expressed their support for the Hyuga family. Because of this incident, the Hyuga family was pushed to the forefront. The people of the Hyuga family, I have already received news that the old boy from the 3rd generation Hokage, he will hand over our Hyuga family to Kumogaku, do you think we can agree? Hyuga Chen stood on the roof with a horn in his hand and shouted loudly. What? 3 generations of Hokage actually betrayed us, is it true? Probably not. Let's ask the patriarch. A riot broke out among the Hyuga tribe. Everyone, we must not give in, Sarutobi Hiruzen is going to kill us. Today we will go to the Hokage building and ask him for an explanation. If it's a big deal, we will betray the village. Hyuga-chen shouted again. Under Hyuga-chen's incitement, hundreds of Hyuga tribesmen followed Hyuga-chen to the outside of the Hokage building. 3 generations of old thieves, come out, you old turtle, and give our Hyuga family an explanation. Why are you standing still? Shout along with me, Hyuga-chen said to the Hyuga clan behind him. I said, little brother, are you from my Hyuga family? Why don't you have Byakugan? Children, Chen is indeed a member of the Hyuga family. I can testify to him. I still watched him grow up, said an older generation of the Hyuga family in his 60s. 3 generations of old thieves, come out, you old turtle, and give our Hyuga family an explanation. Led by Hyuga Chen, the Hyuga tribe shouted together. The faces of the 3 generations of Hokage in the Hokage office were all darkened, looking at Hyuga Chen, who was smiling downstairs, mad to death. Hyuga-chen, what are you trying to do? Sarutobi Hiruzen came out angrily and asked angrily. I, Hyuga Chen, like to fight injustice, and today I came here to fight injustice for the Hyuga family. Hyuga Chen said righteously, with pride on his face. I am doing good deeds, and I am very proud. Under the sunlight, Hyuga Chen felt that he was the embodiment of justice, eliminating all injustice in the world. Sarutobi Hiruzen clenched his fists and went to TM for good deeds. I think you just don't have enough time and want to add more fire. Hyuga Chen angrily, Sarutobi Hiruzen dispatched Anbu to call Hyuga Hiyashi. No matter what happened to Hyuga Chen, let's get rid of the Hyuga clan behind him first. Chapter 324 Develop Hinata's confidence. After Hyuga Hiyashi arrived, he left without expression with the clansmen who came to make trouble with Hyuga Chen. Now Hyuga Chen and a group of watchers are left in the Hokage building. Sarutobi Hiruzen sent people to disperse those who were watching the fun, and then looked at Hyuga-chen. What the hell are you thinking? Sarutobi Hiruzen was about to cry. Half a month ago, he was slapped by Hyuga-chen, causing his reputation to plummet. Now Hyuga-chen instigated the Hyuga family to block the Hokage building, and even scolded him downstairs. Now Sarutobi Hiruzen feels that his face has been lost. If Hyuga-chen knew what Sarutobi Hiruzen was thinking now, he would definitely tell him that it was not an estimate, but that he had already thrown it all away. It's nothing, it's not that I'm targeting you, it's that I'm bored and want to find something to do. Hyuga-chen chuckled. I'm %#. Sarutobi Hiruzen thought to sell the batch. I'll leave now, I won't disturb your office. Hyuga-chen waved his hand and left leisurely, leaving only Sarutobi Hiruzen with a very dark face. After Hyuga-chen went back, he found Hyuga Hiyashi standing at the door of his house waiting for him. Are you a big patriarch doing anything? You actually came here to be a door god, don't mention it, you can shock a large number of young people just by your appearance. Hyuga-chen teased. Thank you. Hyuga Hiyashi bowed solemnly and thanked without Hyuga-chen's ridicule. Thank me, why are you thanking me? Hyuga-chen felt inexplicable. Then he thought about what happened just now. Could it be that Hyuga Hiyashi misunderstood something? The more you think about it, the more likely it is. Hey, don't you think that my previous behavior was to vent your anger? Hyuga-chen looked at Hyuga Hiyashi with a strange look. Hyuga Hiyashi frowned suddenly, and a bad feeling rose in his heart. You think too much, even if you die, I won't even blink an eye, I'm just bored and want to find something to do. Hyuga-chen patted the self-righteous Hyuga Hiyashi on the shoulder, then pushed away. He went into the yard. Seeing that Hyuga Hiyashi wanted to come in, Hyuga-chen shut him out without hesitation. Hyuga Hiyashi's face was blue and purple, and turned to leave in embarrassment. This time, he was embarrassed. Big brother, I seem to hear my father's voice. Could it be that my father is here? Hinata looked up and asked, and when she mentioned Hyuga Hiyashi, Hinata's body couldn't help shaking. Because the stern Hyuga Hiyashi often preaches to her, she has a shadow in her heart when she thinks of Hyuga Hiyashi. Can only be said that Hyuga Hiyashi will not teach her daughter, and she has been reprimanded knowing that her daughter is cowardly and cowardly. The more reprimands, the more timid and unconfident Hinata became. That's right, don't worry about him, I'll see how your cultivation is going. Hyuga-chen patted Hinata's head gently. Ah, is it to test my cultivation results? Hinata looked flustered, and her little face was very unconfident. She was afraid that her performance would be too bad and her big brother would dislike her. Because Hyuga-chen is the person who cares about her the most besides Aunt Akiko, Hinata doesn't want her big brother to be disappointed and will ignore her in the future. Hinata's Aunt Akiko is the good sister of Hinata's mother. Hinata's mother died of dystocia when she was giving birth to Hinata. From this, Hyuga-chen concluded that the future Hyuga Hanabi is Hinata's half-sister. After all, Hinata's biological mother is now dead. Of course it doesn't matter. Hinata, you have to be more confident, brother, I hate people who lack confidence the most. Hyuga-chen squatted in front of Hinata and looked at her seriously. Don't be ashamed, you can be her uncle, return her brother, make a face. Shui Haim's voice sounded in Hyuga-chan's mind. I want you to take care of it, you leave me, I don't want to talk to you. Humph, wait for me, I will definitely tell Kushina and the others about this, and we'll wait and see. After the threat, Shui Haim remained silent. Oh hey, Tilda's still threatening me, am I afraid of you? Hyuga-chen chuckled, then ignored Shui Haim for the time being, and prepared to clean up her at night so that she could recognize herself. Hyuga-chen now is to cultivate Hinata's self-confidence. It's not good to lack self-confidence. Big brother, I will try my best. Hinata clenched her small fist and determined, she must not be hated by big brother, this is the only thought of Hinata now. Picking up kunai and standing at a distance of 30 meters, Hinata nervously looked at Yuhi, Hanada's heart on the target in the distance, and his mind gradually calmed down. Taking out the stance of the previous training, Hanada flew at the target and shot kunai, and then missed the target 0. When he finally flew out of kunai, Hanada was still nervous, so kunai didn't hit the target at all. Hanada lowered his head in disappointment and looked at Hyuga-chen with tears in his eyes. It's okay, do it again, I believe in you. Hyuga-chen handed a kunai again. Calm your mind, don't have any distracting thoughts. Hyuga-chen said behind Hanada. Hanada's eyes were firm, and he shot kunai again. Perhaps because of Hyuga-chan's encouragement, this time Hanada directly hit the bullseye. Did I really hit the bullseye? Hanada herself couldn't believe it. Even in her usual training, she never hit the bullseye. This was the first time she hit the bullseye. You have to believe in yourself, what others can do, you can do too. Hyuga-chen said softly. Although I don't expect to restore Hanada's self-confidence this time, Hyuga-chen believes that over time, Hanada's confidence will be restored. After that, Hyuga-chen asked Hanada to show her physical skills, hand seal, etc. Although the process was a bit bumpy, it was all completed, and it was a good start. Now that Hanada is still young, Hyuga-chen is teaching her to lay a foundation for the future. Only with a solid foundation can high-rise buildings be built. 4 or 5 days later, just yesterday, Killer Bee Jinchuriki, Column Force Killer Bee, came to Konoha with an elite squad. I have to say that the Kumogakure village is really bold. People like Jinchuriki Column are capable of such weapons of war, and they dare to send them to other villages. Of course, this also means that Konoha can't subdue the 8 tails at all, because Killer Bee can completely turn into a beast, and the 4th generation of Reikage is not worried at all. Konoha not only can't deal with Killer Bee, but also guards against Killer Bee's tail beast, causing damage to Konoha. This can only be said to be sad. It can only be said that Konoha was completely pitted by the first Hokage Senju Hashirama. If he hadn't allocated the tailed beast, Konoha would not be so passive. Distributing the tailed beast, in addition to some money, what else? Sometimes a good heart may not necessarily lead to good things. If all the 9 big-tailed beasts are left in Konoha, and the other 4 villages are shocked, will there be a war in the ninja world? It is necessary to strike a balance, so that the 5 major countries check each other, trying to achieve peace, but instead of peace, wars and small wars continue. Chapter 325 Kill Killer Bee. Bang! The door of Hyuga-chen's courtyard was suddenly kicked open, and Hyuga-chen, who was sitting in the courtyard, had a cold light in his eyes. Someone dared to kick his door. It seems that the foot is no longer wanted. Lord Killer Bee, this is the person who wounded our captain. A Kumogakure pointed at Hyuga-chen with a sneer on his face. It's you bastard who hurt our Kumogakure. Idiot. Asshole. Killer Bee stood up. Hyuga-chen was upset. To be honest, the tone of this rap made Hyuga-chen very disliked, especially the idiots and bastards who were equivalent to the catchphrase behind. Hyuga-chen stood up and smiled slightly. If the girls who were familiar with Hyuga-chen were here, they would know that Hyuga-chen was angry. What are you laughing at, you idiot? Stupid. Asshole. I understand that you want to stand up for your own people, but you dare to scold me for kicking my door. If that's the case, save your life. The invisible momentum set off a gust of wind and blew them away. Hanada, who was standing beside Hyuga-chen, was not affected in any way. Hanada, brother went out to solve some things, you 3 stay here first. Hyuga-chen patted Hanada's head, and then walked out. Idiot. Asshole. I know your name is Hyuga-chen, I'll beat you today and let big brother know how good I am. Killer Bee got up from the ground, speaking in a rap accent and doing strange movements. When I watched the anime, Hyuga-chen wasn't very disgusted, but when I heard the rap's way of speaking and the sarcastic actions, Hyuga-chen felt unhappy in his heart. Moreover, this guy knew himself clearly and dared to come to trouble, obviously it was intentional. Deliberately came to trouble him. Hyuga-chen had already decided in his heart to kill him, and even if Tianwang Laozi came today, he couldn't keep him. Hyuga Hiyashi, Sarutobi Hiruzen and others also rushed over, looking at the dignified atmosphere, and did not dare to interject. At this time, everyone could see the unhappiness and anger on Hyuga Chen's face. You can watch, you can also be a melon eater, but watch me from afar, and be careful to splatter your blood. Hyuga Chen's indifferent voice reached everyone's ears. Retreat! Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted without hesitation, making Anbu's people retreat, and at the same time letting Hyuga Hiyashi direct the Hyuga family to leave here. Now Hyuga Chen is annoyed, if they spread into it, with Sarutobi Hiruzen's understanding of Hyuga Chen, he will kill them without hesitation. Why is Hyuga Chen called a demon in the ninja world? It's not because he kills too many people. Like demons, killing people doesn't blink at all. So at this time Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't want to know how their Konoha would take on Kumogakure's wrath after Killer Bee Jinchuriki column died. With Hyuga Chen, Sarutobi Hiruzen is more willing to bear Kumogakure's wrath. Anger Hyuga-chan, but to anger Kumogaku, Konoha will not be too afraid of them, especially after the Killer Bee Jinchuriki column power is gone, Konoha will not be afraid of them. So after thinking for a moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen chose to step back without hesitation. I've always made trouble for others, but you dare to come to trouble me, are you giving your face? Hyuga-chan came to Killer Bee instantly, grabbed his hair and smashed it to the ground. The gravel splashed, and the hard ground was smashed into a big hole. Killer Bee was dumbfounded, unable to react at all. Kumogaku, who followed Killer Bee, looked horrified. Apart from Reikage, Lord Killer Bee was the strongest person in their Kumogaku village. Now he was pressed to the ground and rubbed against each other. What is the origin of this person? People are forgetful. At the beginning, Hyuga Chen's name was spread throughout the ninja world, and he could stop children from crying at night, but now there seem to be not many people who really know him. Of course, this is also because the major ninja villages deliberately blocked, because those ninjas were afraid when they heard the name of Hyuga Chen, so the major ninja villages could only take this countermeasure. This has also led to the fact that now, except for the high-level people of the villages, few people know about Hyuga-chan. Even if they know the name of Hyuga-chan, it is only a legend, just like Uchiha Madara. Damn bastard! Killer Bee raised his head sharply, looking angrily at Hyuga Chen who was standing in front of him. Bye, run, you're not an opponent, shouted the eight tails inside Killer Bee. Was sleeping just now, but after being awakened unexpectedly, she saw his man Jinchuriki, Column Force and Hyuga Chen, the evil star, facing each other, and Yahweh was almost scared to pee. Yao, are you afraid? Killer Bee's voice was a little dissatisfied. Eight Tails wanted to cry. It was beaten to death by Hyuga Chen, and it has left an indelible psychological shadow. Can you not be afraid? You're not very strong, your mouth is so cheap. Hyuga Chen threw his fist and shattered Killer Bee's jaw before he could react. Now try again. Hyuga Chen sneered at Killer Bee, who was lying on the ground with blood on his face and humming. Jaw was smashed by Hyuga Chen, and this guy will not want to talk in the future. Those Kumogaku looked at each other and stretched out their hands to pull Killer Bee to escape. As for revenge for Killer Bee, they didn't even dare to think about it. Even the second master of Kumogaku village, Killer Bee, the righteous brother of the fourth generation Reikage, is not an opponent, and they don't think they are opponents. Repulsion. Hyuga Chen glanced at them lightly. Repulsion and gravitation acted on them at the same time, instantly squeezing them into blood mist. Want to run away in front of me? Can you escape? Then it's up to you. Hyuga Chen slowly walked towards Killer Bee, who was lying on the ground. No matter why you came to provoke me, everything you've endured now is the price. Hyuga Chen stepped on his chest and broke several ribs. He grabbed his right arm and yanked it violently, tore off Killer Bee's right arm, and threw Killer Bee's right arm out, splattering blood on the ground. The distance, Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others felt a chill in their hearts. You, Killer Bee whimpered from his throat as the severe pain came. I didn't allow you to whine. grabbed Killer Bee's neck and lifted him up, and now Killer Bee couldn't even make a whimper. Boy, you weren't born when I killed you. I don't know who gave you the courage to provoke me. Hyuga-chen pinched Killer Bee's neck and said coldly. Hyuga-chen is not exaggerating. Killer Bee is 5 or 6 years younger than Hyuga-chen. And when Hyuga-chen was 5 years old, he killed Jonin, the elite of the Uchiha family who came looking for trouble. So Killer Bee and Hyuga-chen are the younger brother of the younger brothers. I won't torture you anymore, let's send you to the Pure Land. Hyuga-chen squeezed Killer Bee's neck with a slight force. And Yao can only say it's pitiful, because the person Jinchuiki column died, and Yao also died, and can only wait to be resurrected again. Throwing Killer Bee's body aside, Hyuga-chen stepped into the small courtyard without even looking at it. The atmosphere was eerily quiet, and Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent as he watched the blood-stained Yuhi's ground and the lifeless Killer Bee. Chapter 326. Am I that superficial? Killer Bee was dead, and the fourth Raikage who got the news was furious. He has a very good relationship with Killer Bee. He treats Killer Bee and the fourth generation Raikage like his own brother. Now that the news of Killer Bee's death comes, it is bad news for the fourth generation Raikage. Raikage, your condolences. Take me to see Bai's body. Fourth Raikage barely recovered and said in a low voice. Seeing Killer Bee's body, the fourth generation Raikage smashed the ground with an angry fist. Who killed Bai? The fourth Raikage, like a wild beast, grabbed the Kumogakure next to him and asked. Konoha's people brought the body over and left. I heard that Hyuga-chen killed Lord Killer Bee. Kumogakure, who was caught, said quickly. Fourth generation Raikage who chose to bite him made his body tremble, for fear that the fourth generation Raikage would eat him. Hyuga-chen. 4 generations of Raikage roared as lightning flashed on his body. Konoha. Ready to assemble the ninjas, I want an explanation from Konoha. The 4 generations of Raikage were almost in one word in Kumogakure. With his order, Kumogakure quickly assembled into a large army. Raikage of the 4th generation, Konoha, who also got the news, set out for the country on fire, and also entered emergency preparations. Sarutobi Hiruzen has sent people to find Jiraiya. Because of the actions of Kumogakure and Konoha villages, the entire ninja world began to surge, as if the third ninja war had just ended, and the fourth ninja war was coming. Konoha is really unlucky, and has been a punching bag for Chen. Kushina smiled secretly. The matter spread widely, even the girls who traveled in the ninja world also heard about Hyuga-chen killing Killer Bee Jinchuriki, column force Killer Bee. And this incident also made people in the ninja world get to know Hyuga-chen again. It can only be said that Kumogakure village is unlucky. It must be the teacher that Killer Bee provokes first, otherwise the teacher will never kill him. Yuhi nodded affirmatively. That's not necessarily the case. That guy Chen likes to have nothing to do. Maybe it's his first choice. Tsunade shook his head and said. The following Samui is very complicated. Killer Bee is her teacher. Although Killer Bee did not teach her for too long because of the Third War, she is still her teacher. Now hearing the news of the teacher's death, Samui is very upset, and he can't say whether it is discomfort or other emotions. After thinking about it, Samui finally gave up. She is no longer from Kumogakure village, and now she understands why no one came to rescue them when they were arrested. Because at that time, they had been abandoned by Kumogakure village. The reason why Kumogakure gave them up was very simple, that is, Kumogakure did not want to conflict with Hyuga-chen's apprentice. Don't discuss this, anyway, Yi-chan's strength doesn't need us to worry. Kushina said with a smile. Isn't it right, little Shangren? Kushina lowered her head and squeezed Uzumaki's face with her hand. Uzumaki Shangren was met by Kushina and the others in the grass ninja village. At that time, Uzumaki Shangren's mother had just died. Because of the same clan, Kushina brought Shangren with him. By the way, in order to avenge Uzumaki's mother, Kushina destroyed the grass ninja village in a rage, and now there is no grass ninja village in the ninja world. Listening to Yuki Haim, That guy Tatsu kidnapped a little girl. It seems to be Hyuga Hiyashi's daughter. Makoto said softly. Damn brother. Conan bit Kiba. Terumi May and Sarah heard the words and kept grinding Kiba beside them. If Hyuga-chen was in front of them, they would definitely kill Hyuga-chen. Leave him alone, it's irritating to say it. Tsunade's violent punch directly shattered a wall. Hyuga-chen was sitting at home. The turmoil in the ninja world didn't affect him at all, just like no one else. Just when Hyuga-chen was teaching Hinata to practice, Hyuga Hiyashi knocked on the door and looked at the door. Hyuga-chen didn't want to open the door because he didn't want to see Hyuga Hiyashi's face. Every time I see Hyuga Hiyashi, Hyuga-chen thinks he owes him money. Originally Hyuga-chen thought he would leave after knocking for a while, but I didn't expect Hyuga Hiyashi to knock on the door endlessly. Big brother, who is knocking on the door? Hinata asked curiously. Who else could it be? Your father. Hyuga-chen walked to the door, opened it, and looked at Hyuga Hiyashi with dead fish eyes. If you have something to say, I'm busy right now. Hyuga-chen said impatiently. I want to ask your help. With a bang, the door to the yard was slammed shut. Ask him for help. Are you kidding me? Although Hyuga-chen has nothing to do, can you count on the increasingly lazy Hyuga-chen to help? Think too much. Hyuga Hiyashi saw the closed door. A look of embarrassment appeared on Eternal's unchanged face, and he was locked out before he could finish. I won't let you help in vain, I'll give you money. Hyuga Hiyashi shouted. Rich. It's a joke. Hyuga-chen, is such a superficial person. I just want to impress me with some money made by waving my hand. Hyuga-chen pouted and opened the door again. You agreed. Hyuga Hiyashi felt a little joy in his heart when he saw Hyuga-chen open the door again. I promise, I just want me to work with just a little money. I think too much. I'll kill you with money. A thick bundle of money appeared in Hyuga-chen's hand, and Hyuga-chen smashed it one by one. Passed. How dare you look down on me? Do I have no money? Do you think you are the only one who has money? Hyuga Hiyashi was smashed out of several bags on the head, so angry. When did I look down on you? Hyuga-chen, have money, how can I look at your stinky money? Hyuga-chen snorted coldly, and then closed the door again. Hyuga Hiyashi looked at the money scattered on the ground depressed, touched the big bags above his head, and finally chose to leave. After Hyuga Hiyashi left, Hyuga-chen opened the door again and pulled Hinata out. Come here, Hinata, let's pick up the money together, and I'll give you a chicken leg in the evening. Hyuga-chen held a sack in his hand. After all, it was created with yin-yang escape, but it must not be wasted. Hyuga-chen was carrying the sack in the back, Hinata was picking it up in front, and it took half an hour to collect the money, which shows how much money Hyuga-chen had thrown away. Hyuga Hiyashi is really stupid, doesn't he know how to pick up the money? Hyuga-chen carried a large sack full of money and took Hinata's hand back to the small courtyard. 3 days later, Konoha and Kumogakure went to war, and the 3-generation-old man personally went into battle to fight against the 4th-generation Reikage. Although the 3-generation-old man is old and his strength is not as good as before, the 4th-generation Reikage is definitely not the opponent of the 3-generation-old man. After a war, the grumpy Reikage was educated, and the two villages stopped fighting. Reikage asked Konoha to give an explanation, otherwise the matter would never end. Seeing the determination of Kumogakure village to sink the boat, the 3-generation-old man once again persuaded, and he had to consider the overall situation. He was afraid that Kumogakure and Konoha would lose both in a fight, and he knew, without saying, that other villages would definitely not be able to resist Konoha. Chapter 327 The Death of Hazashi. Reikage, in whose hands Killer Bee died, you must know, why hold on to Konoha, it's not good for our two villages. Sarutobi Hiruzen said earnestly. The 4th generation of Reikage was silent, he knew that it was Hyuga-chen who killed his adopted brother, but what could this be? Hyuga-chen is so strong, he can't do anything with Hyuga-chen, he can only bully Konoha. If he is not Reikage, maybe he will choose to fight with Hyuga-chen for Killer Bee, but he is Reikage of Kumogakure village and is responsible for Kumogakure village. The fourth generation of Reikage did not want the entire Kumogakure village to die with him because of his personal hatred. Onoki is still watching. You don't want Onoki to shoot at your Kumogakure village. Sarutobi Hiruzen moved Onoki out. During the Second Ninja World War between Onoki and Kumogakure, they forged a big or small feud. With Onoki's vengeful character, Baobuchi will take action against Kumogakure village. Of course, the most likely shot is on Konoha. Compared with the grudge against Kumogakure village, taking a bite from Konoha's body is what Onoki wanted most. Iwagakure and Kumogakure do have a hatred, but the hatred with Konoha is even greater. He was seriously injured by Uchiha Madara, but he still remembers it now. However, Sarutobi Hiruzen's remarks did make the four generations of Reikage's impulsive minds sober. As Sarutobi Hiruzen was worried, the fourth generation of Reikage was also worried about the other three villages taking advantage of the fire. In fact, they don't have to worry about the Kurigakure village at all. Now the Kurigakure village is overwhelmed. The fourth generation of Mizukage is controlled by Uchiha Obito, and now the Kurigakure village is about to fall apart. My brother-in-law died in your Konoha, so let's just forget it. The fourth generation Reikage grimaced. What do you want? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked rhetorically. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen secretly scolded the fourth generation of Reikage for bullying the weak and fearing the hard, and it was not Konoha who killed his righteous brother, but Hyuga-chen. Don't you seek revenge on Hyuga-chen and stare at us Konoha. Fourth Reikage frowned. Let's talk about the murder of my Captain Kumogakure messenger. Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart tightened. It was true that things were happening one after another, and he didn't know where Jiraiya went, but Anbu, who was sent out, didn't find him. Now that Jiraiya is collecting materials in a remote overseas country, it is naturally difficult for Anbu Ninja to find him. You make conditions. Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head. Hyuga Hiyashi in the back frowned, and there was a bad feeling in his heart. It's very simple, hand over the murderer. Fourth Reikage said toughly. This matter is entirely your Kumogakure's conspiracy against our Hyuga family, and killing him is also his own fault. Hyuga Hiyashi said lightly. The fourth generation of Reikage narrowed his eyes, revealing a cold chill in his eyes. I'm talking to you Hokage, what right do you have to interrupt? You. Hyuga Hiyashi was angry. The fourth generation of Reikage meant that he was not qualified. This sentence made Hyuga Hiyashi very embarrassed, and it was still embarrassing in front of many ninjas. If you answer so quickly, the person who killed my Captain Kumogakure is you, Chief Hyuga. A sneer appeared on Reikage's face. Don't look at this guy's strong growth, but his brain is not all muscles, and now the fourth generation of Reikage wants to kill Hyuga Hiyashi, the Hyuga Patriarch. Now that the word Hyuga was mentioned, his anger couldn't help gushing out. Sarutobi Hiruzen thought for a while, then said, I'll answer this for you another day. I only give you 1 day, don't just find someone to deal with me. My Kumogakure team captain is an elite Jonin, who can kill an elite Jonin, and the least powerful is an elite Jonin. Reikage of the fourth generation said, and took a special look at Hyuga Hiyashi. Uchiha Fugaku stood there, with the same serious face as Hyuga Hiyashi, a rare smile. With the Hyuga family for a long time, now seeing the unfortunate situation of the Hyuga family, Uchiha Fugaku felt relieved. Relatively Hyuga Hiyashi's face is not good looking. Before he went to Hyuga-chen for help, just for this matter, if Hyuga-chen came forward, maybe the Hyuga family would have nothing to do. But now I am afraid that the patriarch of him will lose his life. Two sides temporarily retreated to the camp, and the fighting was temporarily terminated. The atmosphere in the Konoha camp was very solemn. Hiyashi, you know about Konoha too, so. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't say anything after that, but Hyuga Hiyashi understood what he meant. Uchiha Fugaku stood aside, looking like he was watching a good show. I know, I will not implicate Konoha in doing things alone, Hyuga Hiyashi said with a blank expression. No, Hiyashi, you are the patriarch of the Hyuga family, you must not be handed over. The chief elder of the Hyuga family said firmly. Let Hazashi go, he is also an elite jonin, and he is also a member of the family. This is the time for him to stand up. The elder Hyuga looked at Hyuga Hazashi next to him. Hyuga Hazashi was silent. In fact, the elder Hyuga had already talked to him before. Although he was not reconciled, this was the fate of the separation. Hazashi. Hyuga Hiyashi looked at the taciturn younger brother. Hiyashi, Kumogakure's purpose is Byakugan, you are from the main clan, you must not let Byakugan flow out. Elder Hyuga said painstakingly. Reason why he is so concerned is also because Hyuga Hiyashi saved his grandson. And, Hyuga Hiyashi nodded. If he can live, no one wants to die, just pity Hazashi. Hyuga Hazashi looked at Hyuga Hiyashi with sadness in his eyes. This is the fate of the separation. Only a few minutes later than Hyuga Hiyashi, and he became a branch and will live for main clan all his life. I hope the patriarch can help me take care of Neji. Hyuga Hazashi whispered. And, Hyuga Hazashi chose to commit suicide. After his death, the caged bird spell was activated, and Hyuga Hazashi's Byakugan was destroyed. Konoha handed over the body of Hyuga Hazashi. But the 4 generations of Reikage were very dissatisfied, not to mention not getting Byakugan, not even the head of the Hyuga family died, Konoha just lost an irrelevant elite jonin. They lost in Kumogakur, was wiped out by the army he sent, and his brother-in-law was killed. In fact, the death of Killer Bee has something to do with the 4th generation of Reikage. If he hadn't kept explaining that Killer Bee should not provoke Hyuga-chen, perhaps Killer Bee would not have died. Of the solemn instructions of the 4th generation Reikage, Killer Bee wanted to see it even more, so he ended up like this. Sometimes people are cheap. Knowing that there are tigers in the mountains, they prefer to walk in the mountains. This is also Killer Bee himself wanting to die. In front of Hyuga-chen, one idiot, one jerk, this is the old birthday star who eats arsenic and is impatient. Even if this is a mantra, Hyuga-chen is not his father, so he won't get used to him because of this, and he didn't destroy his soul together, so Hyuga-chen is very merciful. Chapter 328 Yamanaka Ino. Time passed slowly, and the killing of Killer Bee finally came to an end. Although the 4th generation of Reikage was angry, the anger was useless. He wanted to explain to Konoha, but Sarutobi Hiruzen said directly, this has nothing to do with Konoha, you go to Hyuga-chen to explain. The reason why Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly became tough is because Jiraiya is back. With Jiraiya as a master, Konoha is stronger than Kumogakur. After a big battle, Konoha successfully repelled Kumogakur, and finally the 4th generation Reikage could only retreat angrily. 4 generations of Reikage receded. Sarutobi Hiruzen breathed a sigh of relief for a while, and then turned his eyes to the Uchiha family again. When fighting Kumogakur, the Uchiha family was perfunctory, and Uchiha Fugaku did not contribute at all. If Uchiha Fugaku goes all out, then Konoha doesn't need to hand over Hyuga Hazashi in humiliation either. Sarutobi Hiruzen became more defensive towards the Uchiha family, which further intensified the conflict between Uchiha and Konoha. This has nothing to do with Hyuga-chen, I have nothing to accompany the girls, and then I teach Hinata to have a good life. Time passed in the blink of an eye, and Hinata was 6 years old and school age. Although Hinata's strength, it doesn't matter if he doesn't go to school, but Hyuga-chen still chooses to send Hinata to school. Today is the day of school, are you happy, Hinata? Hyuga-chen asked, holding Hinata's hand. Originally, Hyuga Hiyashi was going to send Hinata to school today, but Hyuga-chen took over the job and drove away the unsightly guy Hyuga Hiyashi. I'm not happy, I'll rarely see Big Brother in the future. Hinata whispered, Yuhi dizzy on his face, but luckily he didn't faint. I'm glad that Hinata said that. Hyuga-chen stroked Hinata's hair. Hinata's hair is very soft, and because of Hyuga-chen's suggestion, Hinata has long hair. Although it is not as cute as short hair, Hyuga-chen thinks long hair looks better. After coming to the ninja school, there were indeed a lot of people, freshmen entering the school, and parents who came to send their children to school. Looking at the three acquaintances squatting in the corner, Hyuga-chen pulled Hinata and walked up. Tatsu, Yamanaka Inoichi's expression was a little surprised. What? You seem surprised to see me. Hyuga-chen made several stools out of mokudan, wood style. Seeing Hyuga-chen using mokudan, wood style, a few people are not surprised, because Hyuga-chen used it in front of them before, and they were already surprised at that time. 10. Is Hinata your daughter? Did you make Hyuga-Hiyashi green? Yamanaka Inoichi leaned over and asked in a low voice. If Hyuga-Hiyashi hears these words, I think he will definitely fight with you. Hyuga Tatsu said blankly. I'm joking, don't tell Hyuga-Hiyashi. Yamanaka Inoichi sneered. Tilde do you think I'll tell him? Hyuga-chen looked at Yamanaka Inoichi playfully. Dad, who is this handsome guy? The appearance of Yamanaka Ino made Yamanaka Inoichi's embarrassment disappear. But looking at his daughter whose eyes were shining and her eyes twinkling with peach heart, Yamanaka Inoichi didn't feel good. He knew his daughter very well and had a proper look. I'll introduce to you, this is my classmate, you must remember to call him uncle. Yamanaka Inoichi said seriously, he could put the accent on the word uncle. But Yamanaka Ino didn't look at Yamanaka Inoichi at all. As for what he said, is it important to look at handsome guys? Still a very handsome guy. At this time, Yamanaka Ino has already started to make up his mind. He has a romantic love story with this handsome guy. It can only be said that Yamanaka Ino is really precocious. Seeing Yamanaka Ino staring at his big brother all the time, Hinata felt a little uncomfortable, but Hinata, who is introverted, will definitely not show it. Ino, Yamanaka Inoichi yelled, which made Yamanaka Ino come back to his senses. Looking at his father, Yamanaka Ino asked dissatisfiedly, why? I mean he is my classmate, remember to call him uncle. Yamanaka Inoichi said heavily. What he meant was to let Ino know Hyuga-chen's age, and then to dispel the bad thoughts that had arisen in his heart. Your classmate, uncle, this is absolutely impossible. Obviously this brother is so young and you are so old, how can you be a classmate? Yamanaka Ino looked like you were making fun of me. Yamanaka Inoichi clutched his heart, and the words hurt his heart. He didn't expect his daughter's mouth to be so poisonous, and actually said that he was old. Is he really old? Comparing with Hyuga-chen next to him, and then touching his rough face, he admitted that he looked older than Hyuga-chen. He's really my classmate. If you don't believe me, ask your two uncles. Yamanaka Inoichi skipped this sad topic and pointed to Akamichi Choza and Nara Shikaku who were watching the play next to him. Are we classmates with him? How come I don't know? Nara Shikaku looked blank. I don't know either. Seeing Nara Shikaku's wink, Akamichi Choza followed suit. You too. Yamanaka Inoichi looked at his two friends, his body trembling with anger. I'll just say it. With the virtues of your father, how could there be such a handsome classmate? Yamanaka Ino looked at his father with contempt. Yamanaka Inoichi wanted to vomit blood, because he always spoiled his daughter, so his daughter did not give him any face as a father. Actually, your dad and I are classmates, come and be good niece and let uncle hug me. Hyuga-chen smiled and opened his hands. Yamanaka Ino jumped into Hyuga-chen's arms without hesitation, and called out sweetly, uncle. Yamanaka Inoichi gave Hyuga Tatsu a depressed look, and then said, now you believe it. He is the same age as me, so don't be fooled by his appearance. Age is not a problem, as long as you are handsome is enough. Yamanaka Inoichi wanted to vomit blood, his daughter was really helpless. I really don't know why my Yamanaka Inoichi's daughter is a nympho. Nara Shikaku patted Yamanaka Inoichi on the shoulder, sympathizing with him. Hinata pouted and lowered her head, a little unhappy in her heart, but she buried it in her heart and didn't show it. Hinata is that kind of character and likes to keep things all in their hearts. Uncle, why are you so young? You are so different from those two ugly uncles. Yamanaka Ino pointed at Nara Shikaku and Akamichi Choza. Nara Shikaku and Akamichi Choza lay guns, although they are not handsome, but they can only be said to be ordinary, and they are not ugly. The two looked at Yamanaka Inoichi resentfully, and they really taught a good daughter. Yamanaka Inoichi is very happy. Let you just laugh at me, now it's my turn to laugh at you, it's really feng shui turns. To a person as perfect as me, even time is no match for me. Alas, watching others grow old slowly, while I am still the same as before, I am helpless. What he said was very helpless, but looking at the proud smile on Hyuga-chan's face, there was no helplessness at all, and he even wanted to show off. Chapter 329 Surface Sisters. Seeing that Hyuga-chan and Yamanaka Ino were chatting happily, Hinata finally couldn't hold it any longer, and reached out and pulled Hyuga-chan's clothes. When Hyuga-chan looked over, Hinata lowered her head again. Reaching out and rubbing Hinata's hair, Hinata's small face slowly turned into Yuhi's all smoked, and finally the shy Hinata fainted. Hyuga-chan stunned and hugged Hinata, who fainted. Isn't he not dizzy anymore? Why are you fainting again now? Big brother, who is she? Yamanaka Ino pouted, looking at Hinata lying in Hyuga-chan's arms, feeling very uncomfortable. Yamanaka Inoichi, who was on the side, secretly said that something was wrong. Looking at this situation, I am afraid that his daughter is really interested in this guy Chen. What should I do? Ino, did you know that your uncle has a wife, and more than one? Yamanaka Inoichi pulled Ino over and whispered. Really? Yamanaka Ino lowered his head, a trace of loss in his heart, and then firmed up again. Even if I have a wife, it can't stop my Yamanaka Ino's desire to pursue a handsome guy. Besides, my father said that he has more than one wife, so there must be no more than one of her, right? If Yamanaka Inoichi knew what Yamanaka Ino was thinking, it would be more than 3 liters of blood. Ino! A shout came from a distance, and a little girl with pink Yuhi-colored hair ran towards him. Hyuga-chen also looked over. With pink Yuhi-colored hair, it must be Hokage heroine Haruno Sakura, but Haruno Sakura should be the least popular female character in Hokage. I have no opinion on Haruno Sakura Hyuga-chen, neither hate nor love. Why is Sakura Haruno hated? The main problem is the character design, and the problem of too many scenes. Anyway, when I first watched Hokage, what impressed Hyuga-chen the most was Naruto's mouth escape, Jinchuriki Column Sun's pretend escape, and Sakura's cry. Wow! Then, who is that handsome guy? Haruno Sakura's eyes sparkled when she saw Hyuga-chen, just like a copy of the previous Ino. All right. It seems that they can become friends. It is not unreasonable, after all, they are all nympho good-looking dogs. The trio of Ino Shikacho is speechless. Do all the little girls nowadays look at their looks? Can't care about what's inside. Hyuga-chen doesn't matter, because he is also a decent-looking dog and has no right to speak of others. Hey, uncle is mine, step aside quickly. Seeing that Sakura kept staring at Hyuga-chen, Ino pushed her away angrily. Why is it yours? Sakura did not show weakness. The two women exchanged eyes, as if a thunder was shining. Humph! My father has already betrothed me to my uncle. Bullshit! I don't believe it. The handsome guy is mine. Broad forehead, do you want to fight? Ah, you actually said that I have a wide forehead. I'm still afraid that you, an Ino pig, will fail. Is this the superficial sister in the legend? Hyuga-chen blinked, indicating that he had learned a lot. She had performed very well before, but she turned her face in the blink of an eye, and the sisters broke up. The Ino Shikacho trio looked at each other. Is this a rivalry? You are only 6 years old. At the age of 6, he actually started to be jealous. Immediately, when Hyuga-chen was 5 years old, he abducted Uchiha Makoto home, which seemed to be acceptable. What are you three looking at me for? Hyuga-chen was puzzled when he saw the three of them staring at him with strange eyes. It's nothing. The three of them shook their heads, their expressions and movements were all synchronized, and Hyuga-chen was inexplicably watching. Hyuga-chen watched this scene with great interest, he was the best at watching the fun. Uncle, who do you like? Yamanaka Ino suddenly turned his head and looked at Hyuga-chen. Big brother, who do you like? Haruno Sakura also looked at Hyuga-chen with anticipation in her eyes. Hyuga-chen, who was a melon eater, was stunned. Why did he suddenly get involved with me? Don't call me uncle, call me brother. Hyuga-chen looked at Yamanaka Ino with a serious face, calling him uncle did not make him old. Damn, can you still have a face? Yamanaka Inoichi looked at Hyuga-chen speechlessly. What? Look at me, what's wrong with calling me my brother? Hyuga-chen pointed to himself, looking at Hyuga-chen's current appearance. If he didn't know, he would think he was only 17 years old. I know big brother who do you like more of us? Yamanaka Ino asked expectantly. I don't like both of you. Hyuga-chen said directly. Yamanaka Ino and Haruno Sakura lowered their heads when they heard the words, and finally raised their heads, looking directly at Hyuga-chen, and said loudly, I won't give up. Then the two looked at each other and snorted at the same time. Hyuga-chen stared blankly at the two girls, their expressions, movements, and words were simply in sync with God's. It seems like it's a sin to break up a pair of good sisters. Hyuga-chen said silently in his heart, of course, without him, the good sisters would turn against each other. Just as Yamanaka Ino and Haruno Sakura were staring at each other, Hinata, who was lying in Hyuga-chen's arms, woke up, rubbed her eyes, looked at the people around her who had been staring at her, and Yuhi suddenly stood up. Hinata, please don't faint. Hyuga-chen said quickly when he saw that Hinata was about to faint. Fortunately, Hyuga-chen was relieved that Hinata did not faint. Big brother, who is she? Haruno Sakura looked at Hinata with some jealousy. How could she lie in the arms of this most handsome guy? Her name is Hinata, you may be classmates in the future. Hinata is shy, you have to take care of her. Hyuga-chen said with a smile. Don't worry, I will definitely take care of Sister Hinata. Yamanaka Ino patted her small undeveloped breasts. I will also take care of Hinata, no one will dare to bully her. Haruno Sakura assured. Hinata pouted, it's not that she can't take care of herself, so she doesn't need you to take care of her. But with Hinata's character, of course it's impossible to tell. With Yamanaka Ino and Haruno Sakura for a few hours, it is considered familiar. Hyuga-chen feels that Haruno Sakura is not as annoying as the original 1.6. All right, this is actually the reason for being in front of Hyuga-chen. If it were someone else, Hyuga-chen would be able to see Haruno Sakura's bad character. When it was almost noon, the three generations of Hokage appeared. First, tell the new students about the spirit of Konoha and sing praises to the heroes of Konoha. The speech was a bit long, and Hyuga-chen couldn't hold it anymore, so he went straight to find a place to sleep. Even if it is idle and boring, Hyuga-chen will not listen to these unnutritious nonsense. After the speech, after the lunch, the afternoon is the time for class division. Hyuga-chen also saw many acquaintances, such as Uzumaki Naruto, Uchiha Sasuke, Nara Shikamaru and other 12 Shaoqiang. After Hyuga-chen sent Hinata into the class, after chatting with Nara Shikaku and the others for a while, Hyuga-chen went back alone. Chapter 330 The Two Pits of the Uchiha Family. The afternoon, looking at the little Hinata who came back, Hyuga-chen asked, how is it? How's school life going? Yeah, it's okay. Hinata nodded lightly, and in front of Hyuga-chen, Hinata was not so shy. Then wash your hands and prepare to eat. On the table was a steaming, fragrant meal. These meals are not made by Hyuga-chen, but made by Hyuga-chen with Snoheim, which is why they are so fragrant. Hyuga-chen's own cooking can only be said to be average, definitely not like this, whether it is color or fragrance, it is perfect. Smelling the fragrance, Hinata touched her stomach, because she didn't eat much at noon, and now Hinata is hungry. Seeing Hyuga-chen staring at him, Hinata's face glowed with yuhi, and he hurried to wash his hands. After eating, Hyuga-chen started teaching Hinata. A human-shaped wooden stake is placed in the yard. This human-shaped stake is very special. There are small yuhi dots on it. These small yuhi dots indicate the acupuncture points of the human body. Hinata, use the gentle fist method to attack this stake. Hyuga-chen pointed to the stake and said to Hinata. Hinata nodded with a firm expression, clenched his fists in a gentle fist pose, and shouted, "Gentle fist law 8 trigrams 32 palms." A yin and yang 8 trigrams array enveloped the stake. Hinata's hands were wrapped in white chakra flames, and the palms turned into afterimages, hitting each acupoint of the stake accurately. Hyuga-chen nodded at the side. Hinata's 8 trigrams 32 palms have been used very proficiently, and she can teach her 8 trigrams 64 palms. After Hinata finished hitting, looking at the undamaged stake, he was slightly discouraged. Don't be discouraged, this stake is specially made by me, and it can't be broken by ordinary people. Hyuga-chen patted Hinata's head and comforted her. If it is an ordinary wooden stake, Hinata can definitely be broken easily, but this is made by Hyuga-chen with senpo, sage art mokudan, wood style, so it is not easy to break. Is cage level ninja, and it is difficult to cause damage to this stake. Well, I will definitely break this stake in the future. Hinata had firmness in his eyes, but in fact, Hinata's persistence was no worse than anyone else. She insisted so that Hyuga-chen would not disappoint her. Go see your sister. Hyuga-chen rubbed Hinata's smooth hair and said to Hinata. Don't you continue to practice? Cultivation also requires a combination of work and rest, let's go. Hyuga-chen said with a smile. Yeah, Hinata nodded, then went to see her sister Hanabi. Hyuga Hanabi has been born for more than a year, and Hinata often visits her in normal times, so the two sisters have a good relationship, and Hanabi also likes to stick to Hinata. Brother Chen, aren't you going? Hinata turned around and asked suspiciously after walking a few steps. Cough cough tilde I still have something to do, so I won't go, you can greet Hanabi on my behalf. Hyuga-chen said with a dry cough. Why don't you go with Hyuga-chen? Is it because you don't want to see Hyugahiyashi's fucking face? Of course not, because today he is going to go to the girls to study some advanced problems, and learn some advanced postures by the way. Hyuga-chen is a studious person, and what he loves most is to study and study. The next morning, Hyuga-chen came back with a refreshing look on his face. Obviously, he was very satisfied with the special study last night, and even unlocked a few new poses. Time moves forward slowly, and half a year has passed quickly. During this half year, Hinata has made rapid progress. You can use the gentle fist method at will 8 trigrams 64 palms. At the same time, perhaps because of Hyuga-chen, and the influence of Sakura and Ino, Hinata's character is not so shy now. Hyuga-chen sat on the roof and looked at Konoha, who was quiet and peaceful. On the surface, Konoha was still quiet and peaceful, but there were already turbulent waves in secret. The conflict between Konoha and Uchiha is deepening day by day, and it has reached the point where it cannot be resolved. And the Uchiha family is extremely arrogant, and naturally can't bear the exclusion of Konoha's high-level officials. Since the Kyuubi Nine-Tails incident, the friction between the two sides has continued to increase, and now the Uchiha family can't bear it anymore and are planning to rebel. Under Konoha's eyes, it is naturally impossible for the Uchiha clan to make any move. The frequent gatherings of the Uchiha clan are all kept in the eyes of Konoha, and Konoha has two eyeliners in the Uchiha clan, that is Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi. I have to say that Uchiha Itachi is a real pit. Originally, Uchiha Fugaku sent him to Hokage as an eyeliner. But maybe Uchiha Itachi likes to be a double agent and is born with a backbone, so Uchiha Itachi betrayed Uchiha and told all 3 generations of Uchiha's plans. These Hyuga-chen know very well, don't look at him staying at home all day, almost staying at home, but Tensagen's far-sighted ability, and the enhanced version of observation haki combined with the thunder fruit. Therefore, Konoha's troubles cannot be concealed from Hyuga-chen. Tisk tisk, I don't understand why Uchiha Itachi betrayed Uchiha. Hyuga-chen shook his head. Since birth, he has been enjoying the resources of the Uchiha family. The patriarch of the Uchiha family is still his father. This guy can actually betray Uchiha. At this time, Hyuga-chen lamented the misfortune of Uchiha Fugaku, who actually gave birth to such a pitiful son. But no matter how turbulent Konoha is, it has nothing to do with Hyuga-chen, he just stands by and watches the play. In fact, the strength of the Uchiha clan is not weak. Uchiha Fugaku, the strength of Uchiha Fugaku who opens Mangekyo Sharingan is at least cage level. Then add Uchiha Shisui with Mangekyo Sharingan, the two cage level powerhouses. If they fight against Konoha, as long as Konoha is not a fool, they will eventually choose to make peace. Pity that the Uchiha family has two clansmen with pits, who drag the Uchiha family into the abyss. Go and visit Uchiha Fugaku. Hyuga-chen suddenly became interested, jumped off the roof, and after leaving a note for Hinata, Hyuga-chen walked towards the Uchiha family. The original Uchiha family was close to the center of Konoha, and not very far from the Hyuga family, but now Uchiha has been expelled to the periphery of Konoha. This is also one of the reasons why Uchiha wants to rebel. During the three wars, Uchiha put the whole family's strength on Konoha, but the result was Konoha's distrust. Being kicked out of the center of Konoha is a very shameful thing. The Uchiha people couldn't take this breath, so the conflict with Konoha gradually deepened. It can only be said that Uchiha was unlucky. If there was no EPUB Nine Tails event, Uchiha might not have perished. This way, it seems that it is Uchiha Obito who has pitted the Uchiha family. In the end, these chaotic thoughts in his mind were dispelled by Hyuga-chen, because he had come to the Uchiha family. Chapter 331 Uchiha Fugaku's Invitation. As soon as Hyuga-chen entered Uchiha's current clan, he was stopped by the Uchiha family. Now that the Uchiha family is planning a mutiny, they naturally have to be vigilant. They don't yet know that the top officials of Konoha have already known all their actions. Seeing Hyuga-chen, the Uchiha ninja who stopped Hyuga-chen hesitated. Of course he knew who Hyuga-chen was. In other words, most people in Konoha now know Hyuga-chen because he killed Killer Bee Jinchuriki column force before. So the people of the Uchiha family are very proud, but they are not fools, and he naturally dare not provoke Hyuga-chen. Tell your patriarch, I, Hyuga-chen, came to visit. Hyuga-chen had a smile on his face, making people feel like a spring breeze. I'm going to report to the patriarch, and please wait here for a while. The Uchiha ninja breathed a sigh of relief. He was afraid that Hyuga-chen would forcefully break in. If Hyuga-chen really wants to push hard, no matter whether he blocks or not, it will not end well in the end. He didn't dare to let Hyuga-chen wait too long, and use the shunshu technique to report. The patriarch, Hyuga-chen wants to see the patriarch outside. Coming to the door of Uchiha Fugaku, he knocked on the door and said loudly. The door was opened, and Uchiha Fugaku came out. A look of surprise appeared on the face of the dead mother who was extremely serious. I see, you should step back first. Uchiha Fugaku waved away the ninja who came to inform him, and then went to greet him in person, while his eyes were still shining, as if he was planning something. Outside the clan, after seeing Hyuga-chen, Uchiha Fugaku showed a rare smile. Hyuga-chen looked at Uchiha Fugaku's ugly smile and felt terrified. This smile was really scary. Hurry up and put away your ugly smile. Even a ghost will be scared to death when he sees your ghost smile. Hyuga-chen rudely complained. Uchiha Fugaku's face is really too stiff, probably because he hasn't smiled for a long time, so this stiff smile is uglier than other people making faces. Uchiha Fugaku was embarrassed, but instead of getting angry, he invited Hyuga-chen in. Hyuga-chen glanced at this guy suspiciously. He was courteous for nothing, and he was either a traitor or a thief. Uchiha Fugaku must have a plan. Of course, Hyuga-chen is not afraid of Uchiha Fugaku's plans. To be honest, Uchiha Fugaku with cage-level strength is almost like an ant in front of Hyuga-chen, and he can easily run over him anyway. So Hyuga-chen was not afraid of Uchiha Fugaku's plans. On the contrary, Hyuga-chen was still interested. Coming to the hall, Uchiha Fugaku personally poured water for Hyuga-chen, which is called a diligent. I don't know what Hyuga-kun is here, so what? Uchiha Fugaku sat down, poured himself a cup of tea, and asked. It's nothing, I just heard that your Uchiha family is going to start a rebellion, and then I'll come and see. Hyuga-chen's plain words caused waves in Uchiha Fugaku's heart. Uchiha Fugaku couldn't help but stand up. The fact that they were going to launch a rebellion was only known to them inside Uchiha. How did Hyuga-chen know? Uchiha Fugaku's complexion changed for a while, sometimes blue and white. Don't change your face, this matter is not a secret to the top of Konoha, they all know it, why don't I know? Hyuga-chen said lightly. What? High-level Konoha also know. Uchiha Fugaku's face was terrifyingly pale, and the high-level Konoha knew about their plot to rebel. How did they know? Uchiha Fugaku couldn't believe it, obviously they were keeping it a secret. Did you think of Konoha as a fool? The Ten got together for a meeting, wouldn't Konoha doubt you? Hyuga-chen squinted at Uchiha Fugaku. That's impossible. Even if you suspect us, it's impossible to suspect that we're going to start a rebellion. Uchiha Fugaku shook his head. Hyuga-chen gave Uchiha Fugaku a sympathetic look. Why does Konoha know? It's not because there are traitors. Between Konoha and the Uchiha family, Uchiha Itachi chose Konoha. This is what Hyuga-chen is puzzling. Although when I watched Hokage, it was said that the conflict between the Konoha and Uchiha families was irreconcilable, and one party must perish, and Uchiha Itachi was forced to exterminate the family. But in fact, this explanation is very far-fetched. If Uchiha Itachi chooses to stand in the Uchiha family, the Uchiha family will never perish. Even Konoha and Uchiha won't go to war, the Uchiha clan is united as one, and the top Konoha will definitely compromise. At that time, Uchiha will get some benefits and it will calm down. After all, Uchiha does not want to fight with Konoha unless it is a last resort. After that, Uchiha Itachi can completely improve the relationship between Konoha and Uchiha after he becomes the Uchiha Patriarch in the future. So in fact the Uchiha genocide can be avoided. But Uchiha Itachi chose to exterminate the clan. I really don't know if he is smart or stupid. Maybe from the beginning, Uchiha Itachi never thought of standing with Uchiha. How could this happen? How would the higher-ups know? Uchiha Fugaku, like a repeater, kept repeating this sentence. Want to know? Hyuga-chen picked up the cup, took a sip of tea, and spit it out. Although the tea he brewed was bad, so was the tea that Uchiha Fugaku brewed, which was not good at all. Your son Uchiha Itachi is actually a double agent. He was sent by you to Anbu to collect information on Konoha, and he was also sent by the third generation to monitor you. Hyuga-chen stared at Uchiha Fugaku, and he wanted to know what Uchiha Fugaku would look like. The expression on Uchiha Fugaku's face was really wonderful and unpredictable. Hyuga-chen didn't expect that Uchiha Fugaku's dead mother's face could change so many expressions. Is it true? Uchiha Fugaku was 10 years old. He already believed in Hyuga Tatsu in his heart, because he asked Uchiha Itachi to collect information on Konoha, but what he brought back was all useless information. I have no hatred with Uchiha Itachi, so why frame him? Hyuga-chen said lightly. The corners of Uchiha Fugaku's mouth twitched, but Uchiha Itachi almost died in the hands of Hyuga-chen, and he still said he had no grudges. Hyuga-chen, let's overthrow Konoha with us. Then you will be the new Hokage of Konoha. Uchiha Fugaku suppressed the stormy waves in his heart and invited Hyuga-chen. Originally, There was only a 30% chance of this rebellion, but if Hyuga-chen could be invited, it would definitely be 100% sure. Hyuga-chen was stunned, not expecting that Uchiha Fugaku would actually invite him. Don't you want to become Hokage? As long as you destroy the high-level Konoha, our Uchiha family will definitely support you to become Hokage. Uchiha Fugaku saw Hyuga-chen silent, thought that Hyuga-chen was moved, so he invited him again. Hyuga-chen pouted. He had never been interested in the position of Hokage. How could he be happy now as a Hokage? Chapter 332. Are you questioning me? I'm not interested in the position of Hokage. Go find someone else. Such as Hyuga Hiyashi. Facing the expectant gaze of Uchiha Fugaku, Hyuga-chen shook his head without hesitation. Why? Uchiha Fugaku wondered. Hokage's position was the most desired position for most Konoha ninjas. First of all, if I really want to be Hokage, I can do it myself. I don't need you at all. Secondly, I have no interest in Hokage at all. Hyuga-chen said lightly. Hokage is just a nicer name. If it doesn't sound good, it's just a village head. It's nothing more than a happy life. When I go to a village of Lao Shizi, Hyuga-chen is not sick. To be honest, Hyuga-chen doesn't understand what those people who want to be Hokage do. Is it to exhaust themselves to death earlier? When Uchiha Fugaku was unwilling and wanted to continue his persuasion, a voice came from outside. Father, I'm back. Uchiha Itachi walked into the hall and saluted Uchiha Fugaku respectfully. Raised his head to look at Hyuga-chen, a hint of doubt flashed in his eyes, and at the same time he couldn't help touching the scar on his neck. The wound was aching again. Little devil, I didn't expect you to grow up too. Hyuga-chen smiled lightly. Uchiha Itachi's eyes were cold and he didn't say a word, while thinking about Hyuga-chen's purpose in coming to the Uchiha family. Uchiha Fugaku glanced at Itachi indifferently. Although Hyuga-chen is an outsider and Uchiha Itachi is his own son, he still believes Hyuga-chen's words, because Hyuga-chen has no need to deceive him. Or that he didn't even have the qualifications to be deceived. Why did you come back so early today? Uchiha Fugaku stared at Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi frowned, and in his father's eyes, Uchiha Itachi felt suspicion. Okay, back off first. We still have something to talk about. Uchiha Fugaku waved his hand, letting Uchiha Itachi leave. Uchiha Itachi frowned and glanced at Hyuga Tatsu, then nodded and left. After leaving the hall, Uchiha Itachi jumped up to the roof, wanting to know what Hyuga-chen and his father were talking about. You really don't think about it anymore, Hokage is. Before Uchiha Fugaku could finish speaking, Hyuga-chen interrupted him. There's nothing to think about. Don't talk to me about being a Hokage. I'm not interested in sitting in the office and dealing with trivial things all day. Uchiha Fugaku's mouth twitched. What is a trivial matter? Who allowed you to eavesdrop? Get off me. The force of gravity pulled Uchiha Itachi off the roof. Uchiha Itachi who fell to the ground. Uchiha Fugaku's face immediately turned cold. He also didn't expect that Uchiha Itachi would actually eavesdrop on their conversation on the roof. Originally, Uchiha Fugaku was very suspicious of Uchiha Itachi, but now he is directly sure that he is a spy and a traitor. Why did you appear on the roof? Give you a chance to explain. Uchiha Fugaku's voice was low and his face was dark. He didn't want to accept that the son he had high hopes for was actually a traitor who betrayed his family. Father, please stop. Don't lead the clan to rebel. You will lead the Uchiha clan into the abyss. Uchiha Itachi said with his head lowered. Joke, how did Konoha treat my Uchiha clan? During the Third Ninja War, they knew that the Uchiha clan was good at Kaiden, fire style, but sent Uchiha to the battlefield of Kurigakure village. Uchiha Fugaku got angry when he said this. Many elites of the Uchiha family were killed by Kurigakure when they fought with Kurigakure, and the battle with Kurigakure have the power of the Uchiha family. What did they get in the end? He went to run for Hokage, but no one but the Uchiha people voted for him. Originally he also wanted to fully integrate into Konoha. But in the end he found out that it wasn't that they couldn't fit into Konoha, but that Konoha couldn't accommodate them. No matter how much they have done for Konoha, they will eventually be vigilant and guarded by the top of Konoha. Fugaku wouldn't want to start a rebellion if it wasn't for the fact that Konoha pushed Uchiha too hard. Hyuga-chen sat there quietly. He was just a melon eater. Just take a look, and I didn't say anything. There's a reason for this. The Third Ninja World War was in critical condition, so. PFF tilde ha ha ha. Hyuga-chen suddenly burst out laughing. I am sorry that I suddenly couldn't control myself. I couldn't help laughing. You guys go on, go on. Uchiha Itachi glanced at Hyuga-chen and said, Father, do you really want to start a war with Konoha? Then both sides will be hurt, and other villages will probably take action against Konoha, and even cause the Fourth Ninja War. Hehe, if you don't resist, Uchiha won't have a future, can you understand? No, the third generation Hokage-sama promised me that he would not target Uchiha again. Uchiha Itachi said. Hyuga-chen shook his head and took out a pot of wine from the system space. It was brewed by Shueheim when he was bored, and it was mellow and fragrant. Drinking a little wine, Hyuga-chen looked at Uchiha Itachi's eyes as if he was looking at a fool. Do you believe what others say? It can't be said that he is stupid, only that Uchiha Itachi is a little naive. Uchiha Fugaku shivered with anger. Can you believe the words of the old fox of the third generation Hokage? Get out of here, Uchiha Fugaku yelled. How could he give birth to such a thing? Father, if the Fourth Ninja War comes due to the war between Uchiha and Konoha, how many casualties will it cause? Why do you only care about the little things in front of you? Why don't you put your eyes on it? PFF tilde. Hyuga-chen accidentally spit out a sip of wine. Uchiha Itachi's words, almost directly said that Uchiha Fugaku is small and narrow-minded. Hyuga-chen looked at Uchiha Fugaku playfully, wondering what Uchiha Fugaku would do. Get out of here immediately. Uchiha Fugaku's angry face was the same as that of pig kidneys. So Uchiha's affairs are trivial in your eyes. And, Uchiha Itachi quietly quit. It's not a good show to watch, I should go too. Hyuga-chen stood up and walked out slowly with the wine in his hand. Don't you really think about it? Uchiha Fugaku still said unwillingly. Mainly because of the Uchiha family alone, it is impossible to fight against the entire Konoha, so Uchiha Fugaku wanted to invite Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen didn't even bother to reply. Walking out of the Uchiha family, Hyuga-chen wandered into a dark forest. Don't hide it. Come out quickly. With your lame hiding skills, you're still making an axe in front of me. Hyuga-chen said lightly. Uchiha Itachi walked out slowly, staring at Hyuga-chen. What the hell did you tell my father? Are you questioning me? Hyuga-chen's mouth showed a hint of playfulness, his indifferent eyes carrying heavy pressure. The powerful sense of oppression made it difficult for Uchiha Itachi to breathe, so he quickly turned on the three-tomo Sharingan, and resisted the coercion released by Hyuga-chen. Chapter 333 Overcome Uchiha Itachi. Little devil, you dare to follow me, you've grown courageous. Hyuga-chen looked at Uchiha Itachi jokingly. Uchiha Itachi, who had been biting Kiba's insistence, finally breathed a sigh of relief. Just now, he felt as if the sky was falling. At this time, Uchiha Itachi really realized the horror of Hyuga-chen, and just by virtue of his aura, he couldn't have the thought of resisting. This is because Hyuga-chen didn't use Conqueror's Haki, otherwise Uchiha Itachi could faint directly. Are you from that organization? Uchiha Itachi breathed a sigh of relief and looked at Hyuga-chen with a blank expression. That organization. Hyuga-chen's expression was a little weird. Hearing these words, Hyuga-chen almost thought that the person opposite was Conan. However, Hyuga-chen also understands that the organization Uchiha Itachi said is Akatsuki. It seems that Uchiha Obito has been in contact with Uchiha Itachi. I didn't join any organization, just an idler. Hyuga-chen shrugged. But Uchiha Itachi doesn't believe it. He thinks Hyuga Tatsu is Akatsuki's person. What on earth did you say to my father? Uchiha Itachi asked. He was just on the roof when he was pulled down by Hyuga-chen's gravity, so he didn't hear anything at all. Little devil, I don't like this kind of questioning tone. Hyuga-chen said lightly. Did you make my father rebel? Uchiha Itachi asked again. Hyuga-chen raised his brows. This guy actually suspected that he made Uchiha Fugaku start the rebellion. There must be something wrong with his brain. I didn't do that, but if Uchiha Fugaku doesn't have the heart to start a rebellion, I might go and encourage him. Hyuga-chen smiled. On the contrary, your father also invited me to let me and him destroy the high-ranking Konoha. The smile on Hyuga-chen's face grew wider and wider. Uchiha Itachi was nervous. He was afraid that Hyuga-chen had promised his father, and he was more inclined towards Konoha than Uchiha. Actually, I'm curious, why did you choose to betray Uchiha? Hyuga-chen asked the one thing he was most curious about. The young patriarch who was appointed by Uchiha finally chose to betray Uchiha. I didn't betray Uchiha, I just don't want war. Uchiha Itachi said in a deep voice. Uchiha Itachi, you have gone down the wrong path, did you know that? Hyuga-chen looked at Uchiha Itachi sadly. What do you mean? Uchiha Itachi frowned. If you really don't want war, stand on the opposite side of the world and wipe out all life in the world, then there will be no war. Come on Uchiha Itachi, join forces with me. Let's destroy this world together, and there will be no wars from now on. Hyuga-chen stretched out his hand to Uchiha Itachi. What's the point if all living beings are wiped out? Uchiha Itachi looked angry. Of course there will be peace. If there are no living beings, there will be no fighting, and there will be no war in the world. Hyuga-chen leaned against the big tree and folded his arms. You are the evil way. Uchiha Itachi's expression was cold, and he felt that Hyuga-chen's thoughts were too dangerous. Just kidding, don't be so serious, I'm not going to destroy the world for nothing, unless there is something that can impress me. Hyuga-chen smiled flatly. Fuck me if it's all right. Hyuga-chen waved his hand lightly, and the raging wind blew Uchiha Itachi away. Although it is only AC rank ninjutsu futon wind style Datapa great breakthrough, Hyuga-chen is very pretentious to use, and can make the wind swept with a wave of his hand. Of course, ordinary people can't do it. If you want to be like Hyuga-chen, you must be able to release ninjutsu without the hand seal. But if the strength does not reach a level, it is impossible to release ninjutsu without hand seal, unless the original ninjutsu is used, such as Rasengan. Although it is only AC rank ninjutsu, the power released by Hyuga-chen is naturally powerful, and the power is not comparable to A** rank ninjutsu. Uchiha Itachi smashed several trees, and was torn dozens of holes in his body by the strong wind, and blood soaked his tattered clothes. Enough talking to you. Hyuga-chen turned around and left the wildly scattered forest blown by the gust of wind. Stop for me. Several shurikens flew over and went straight to the key points of Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen's footsteps stopped, and before the shuriken touched Hyuga-chen, it was reflected. Reflecting out the shuriken faster, Uchiha Itachi, who was shrouded in crisis, did not hesitate to use the shuriken technique to leave the place. The shuriken hit the ground, dust splashed, several large pits appeared, and trees were uprooted, as if they had been hit by missiles. Tisk tisk, the power of vector manipulation is really good. Hyuga-chen turned his head to look at this scene and let out a tisk tisk laugh. Unlike Accelerator requires constant calculations, and Hyuga-chen can change the direction of the force at will. Maybe it's because Hyuga-chen's mental power is stronger than Accelerator, or because Hyuga-chen's vector operation is fundamentally different from Accelerator's. Reflect all physical attacks, change the direction of the force, and with a little force, you can generate great destructive force. This is the vector operation. There's a limit to what you can do, how dare you do it with me? Hyuga-chen looked at Uchiha Itachi indifferently. To be honest, a weak chicken like you is not even qualified to be killed by me. Although I don't take you seriously, it doesn't mean that you can jump around in front of me. Hyuga-chen's words were like a cold wind, and Uchiha Itachi felt that his soul was frozen. Uchiha Ferret Bites Kiba, Kaden Fire Style, Balsam Claw Yuhi. Ignorance, I really don't understand what is in your mind. Hyuga-chen didn't need to move, a wall of earth rose up, blocking all attacks. Uchiha Itachi stared at it tightly, and it was really scary to be able to use ninjutsu without a hand seal. I'm here to see how strong you are. Uchiha Itachi pulled out the ninja sword behind him and charged forward. Although Uchiha Itachi is best at demonic illusion, his physical skills are not weak, and he has certain attainments in swordsmanship. Uchiha Itachi is indeed a genius, but he encountered a guy who is even more genius than him, and at this time Uchiha Itachi has not yet grown to the peak. Uchiha Itachi, who rushed over, flew out at a faster speed. Tell me, you know you're not my opponent, why do you want to kill me? Hyuga-chen said blankly. Uchiha Itachi lying miserably on the ground, Hyuga-chen showed no sympathy. Others might admire Uchiha Itachi, but Hyuga-chen hated people like Uchiha Itachi. They are born with different ideas in different ways. Uchiha Itachi fell to the ground without making a sound. He was so injured that he couldn't even speak. Chapter 334. The title girl was broken ground, uprooted trees, and sawdust scattered all over the place. This devastated scene is like a terrorist attack. Uchiha Itachi slowly climbed up from the ground, Tomo Sharingan's eyes opened, and Yuhi's Sharingan glowed with a strange light. To be able to get up, I have to say that you made me impress. Hyuga-chen wanted to applaud Uchiha Itachi, and he did admire Uchiha Itachi, despite the prejudice of ideas. What's your purpose in Konoha? Uchiha Itachi asked with difficulty. Hee. The admiration in Hyuga-chen's eyes disappeared in an instant, and he pointed a finger at Uchiha Itachi. Laser. A golden dazzling light flashed across, not hitting Uchiha Itachi, but Uchiha Obito behind him. Uchiha Obito looked at the big hole in his stomach with an expression of disbelief, and he didn't know he was injured until he felt the pain. What I hate the most is the mouse hiding in the dark, to give Uchiha Madara a face, this time to save you a life, and next time it will directly open a hole in your head. Hyuga-chen said coldly. Uchiha Itachi hurriedly turned his head to look behind him, and at a glance, he saw a masked man with a big hole in his stomach. Uchiha Itachi's pupils shrank suddenly. Isn't this the guy who bewitched himself to join the mysterious organization before? At this time, Uchiha Itachi completely believed that Hyuga-chen was not a member of the mysterious organization. Glancing at these two guys, Hyuga-chen left immediately. After Hyuga-chen left, Uchiha Obito was silent, and Uchiha Itachi was also silent, looking at the masked man with solemn eyes. Now he is seriously injured. If this mysterious masked man suddenly attacks, he will not even have the strength to resist. Have you thought about it? Uchiha Obito didn't care about the fist-sized wound on his stomach, it wasn't fatal to him. About the conversation with the 3 generations of Hokage, and Danzo's threat to him, Uchiha Itachi thought about it, and finally nodded. I can join the organization you mentioned, but you have to help me with one thing. Uchiha Itachi looked firm. Obito's eyes flickered, and he finally nodded and said, yes. If you want to find me, you can ask him to inform me, he will always follow you. Obito pointed his finger behind Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi glanced back and saw something dug out of the ground that he didn't know if it was a human being. Uchiha Itachi was calm on the surface, but there were violent fluctuations in his heart. With his vigilance, he didn't find this person. Obito gave Uchiha Itachi a deep look, and then sucked himself into the space and disappeared. Although the wound on his stomach won't cause him fatal injuries, it should be dealt with. He has already sent White Zetsu to monitor Uchiha Itachi, and he is not worried about what Uchiha Itachi will leak. In fact, Uchiha Itachi has nothing to leak. Because Obito just told Uchiha Itachi that he was from an organization and didn't tell Uchiha Itachi what organization it was. We will be companions from now on, please give me some advice. White Zetsu reached out to Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi hesitated, then shook hands with White Zetsu, please advise. Speaking of which, you are really fortunate to dare to provoke Lord Chen, and you are not killed. You are so lucky, White Zetsu said with a smile. Uchiha Itachi frowned, staring at White Zetsu tightly. Why do you call Hyuga Tatsu-sama Tatsu-sama? It's not easy, because he's strong. White Zetsu said rightfully. Really? Uchiha Itachi looked at White Zetsu suspiciously, and finally didn't ask any more, because even if he asked, the guy who didn't know if he was a person might not tell him. When Hyuga-chan got home, Hinata had already left school, and there were 2 more guests at home. You can smell the food outside, did you make Hinata? Hyuga-chan asked with a smile, looking at the food on the table. Hinata nodded with Yuhi's face. And I helped too, Ino said, raising his hand. I helped too. Sakura imitated Ino, raised his hand as well, and looked at Ino unwillingly. Really? I heard that the 2 of them also helped. Hyuga-chan put down the hand that had picked up the chopsticks. If they did it, Hyuga-chan would not dare to eat it. Although the food on the dinner table looks beautiful, who knows if it looks good like poisonous mushrooms, but it is actually hard to eat. HMPH. Don't worry, we're just helping to wash the vegetables, the medicine won't kill you. Ino said a little angrily. Then I can rest assured. The doubts on Hyuga-chan's face disappeared, and he picked up the chopsticks to pick up the dishes. Brother Chen, you haven't washed your hands yet. Hinata looked at him with big eyes. Hyuga-chan shrugged helplessly, and then put down his chopsticks to wash his hands. It's really that Hinata's cute big eyes are too lethal, making him feel like he has done something bad. I've decided that I'm going to learn to cook too, Ino said with a slap on the table. This idea of Ino directly determines the tragic fate of Yamanaka Inoichi, because Ino really has no talent for cooking, and he has always let Yamanaka Inoichi try dishes. So Yamanaka Inoichi is living in dire straits. Of course, these are later words. After washing his hands, Hyuga-chan came back and tasted the food made by Hinata. The taste was not particularly good, but it was okay. Hyuga-chan, who has a particularly snarky mouth, thinks it's okay, not to mention that Hinata is only over 6 years old now, and there is still a lot of room for improvement in cooking. How's my brother? Did I make it delicious? Hinata asked in a low voice. Hinata secretly practiced for a long time, just to satisfy Hyuga-chan. Not bad, Hinata, you are very talented. Hyuga-chan praised. Hinata smiled, listening to Hyuga-chan's compliment. She felt as sweet as eating honey. Ino and Sakura looked at Hinata with admiration, secretly determined to learn to cook. How about 2.2 in your school, is there anything interesting? Hyuga-chan asked. With Uzumaki Naruto around, it is estimated that their class should be very lively. There are 2 nasty guys, and I get mad when I see them, Ino said. The 2 people she was talking about were Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke. Uzumaki Naruto didn't say anything. Cranetail Plus likes to play pranks, almost no one likes it. In addition to being handsome, Uchiha Sasuke has a more annoying personality than Uzumaki Naruto. Because seeing Hyuga-chan, who is much more handsome than Uchiha Sasuke, Ino is naturally not interested in Uchiha Sasuke. The same is true for Sakura. Originally, the girl who liked Sasuke's life and death in the original book was disgusted when he saw Sasuke. After all, no one doesn't hate people who are proud of their faces all day long and don't look down on other people. Even Hinata hates Uchiha Sasuke, which shows how failed Uchiha Sasuke is as a human being. Chapter 335 Shisui's End. After the meal, Ino and Sakura left, and Hinata also started today's practice. Hyuga-chan sat in the courtyard watching Hinata practice and instructed her from time to time. Hinata's strength is good, although only 6 years old, but if other factors are not considered, even the elite Chunin is not her opponent. In addition to the contribution of Tensegan Pharmacy, it is also inseparable from the efforts of Hinata, who practice Hinata very hard every day. In the Konoha forest, Uchiha Shisui covered his right eye and ran away frantically, while the people behind Danzo with the root organization frantically chased and killed him. Today he went to meet the 3 generations of Hokage, wanting to change Uchiha Fugaku's mind with Koto Amatsukami and prevent the Uchiha family's coup. The 3 generations of Hokage thought about it and agreed, but Danzo was not satisfied. Even after hearing about Koto Amatsukami, Danzo felt that Uchiha Shisui was dangerous. Such pervert's pupil technique, what if Uchiha Shisui has a bad heart? This kind of power must be in his hands. Those in front are not important, they are just an excuse. What is important is the back, this powerful force must be controlled by him. He even wanted to rely on the power of Koto Amatsukami to control Hyuga-chen. Just that Danzo doesn't know that Koto Amatsukami, which was once released by the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, has no effect on Hyuga-chen. If Danzo really dares to go to Hyuga-chen, I am afraid that he will be Danzo who will hit Koto Amatsukami. In short, Danzo took a fancy to Uchiha Shisui's Mangekyo Sharingan and wanted to try to snatch it. Danzo deceived Uchiha Shisui on the grounds of discussing Uchiha's affairs with Uchiha Shisui. Uchiha Shisui didn't think so much either. Although he knew that Danzo was not a good person, he never thought that Danzo would attack him in Konoha. But Danzo really did that. After tricking Uchiha Shisui over, he shot Uchiha Shisui without hesitation. With the help of Forbidden Technique Izanagi and the ninjas of the Root Organization, he successfully captured Uchiha Shisui's right eye. However, the insatiable Danzo, how can he stop his hand when he gets one eye? Not to mention that Mangekyo Sharingan needs 2 eyes to exert the strongest power. So Uchiha Shisui, who escaped, appeared, and Danzo took the people of the Root Organization to chase them frantically. Damn! Uchiha Shisui scolded. There was a deep wound in front of him that was bleeding continuously. This is the wound he accidentally left by the ninja of the Root Organization with a ninja knife. If it weren't for his quick reaction, he would have been cut in half now. That group of despicable guys must have put poison on the knife. Feeling the heavier footsteps, Uchiha Shisui was angry in his heart. Uchiha Shisui, you can't escape. If you can stop and surrender, I might be able to spare your life. Danzo's voice came from behind. Uchiha Shisui scoffed, and now he doesn't believe a word of Danzo's words. Uchiha Shisui promises that if he dares to stop, Danzo will kill him without hesitation. Out the antidote, Uchiha Shisui took it to temporarily suppress the toxin. Humph, I don't know what's wrong. Danzo snorted coldly, and continued to chase after him. Today, he must grab Uchiha Shisui's other eye. Uchiha Shisui was anxious. Although he took the antidote, he didn't know what poison the root tissue was using. Anyway, the poison was very strong. The antidote he took only relieved, not at all. Now Uchiha Shisui's footsteps are getting slower and slower, and if he continues to run, he will only be caught by Danzo. Uchiha Shisui simply did not run away, he simply stopped, and looked at Danzo and the Root Organization personnel behind him solemnly. Danzo, don't you fear that the 3 generations of Hokage will be blamed in Konoha to attack the people of the village? Uchiha Shisui stared at Danzo closely. You died, who would know that you died in my hands, and no one will avenge you for a dead person. Danzo said with a sneer. Go to hell, do it. Danzo stood in the back, letting the ninjas of the Root group charge up. Mangekyo Sharingan's pupil skills are different. Danzo doesn't want to test his own life, let his subordinates do it first. Danzo, who was hiding behind, began to look for opportunities like a viper. As long as Uchiha Shisui shows his flaws, Danzo will definitely deliver a merciless blow. Uchiha Shisui's face tightened. If it wasn't poisonous, Uchiha Shisui was not afraid of them, but now Uchiha Shisui is at best playing the strength of the elite Jonin. Faced with the siege of dozens of ninjas, including 5 elite Jonin, plus 1 Danzo like a viper, Uchiha Shisui's death sentence can almost be pronounced. To let Uchiha Shisui be captured without a hand, so he can only resist with a sword. The face of the ninjas of the root organization, Uchiha Shisui showed no mercy, and all the ninjas under Jonin were killed. Relying on the powerful telekinesis, Uchiha Shisui seemed to be able to handle the siege of dozens of ninjas. Of course, this is only a superficial phenomenon. The gouged right eye, the long wound on his chest, and the poison on his body almost drove Uchiha Shisui to a corner. Death. Shimura Danzo seized the opportunity and used the futon wind-style vacuum sphere to open a blood hole in Uchiha Shisui's abdomen. Uchiha Shisui, who was seriously injured originally, made it worse this time, spewing a few mouthfuls of blood, then threw a smoke bomb and fled into the distance. Chase, don't let him run away. Danzo took the lead in chasing him. Too much deceiving, Susanoo. For some reason, Uchiha Shisui used Susanoo with one eye. Perhaps it was forced to the dead end of 773, and the potential exploded. Shimura Danzo, who was at the forefront, looked at the green Susanoo and quickly backed away. Death to me. A green drill appeared in the hands of Susanoo of Uchiha Shisui, and with one blow, all members of the root organization were killed. Only Danzo avoided the blow, and Danzo fled in a hurry, looking at Uchiha Shisui who was about to continue attacking. At this time, I don't care about Mangekyo Sharingan anymore. It's still a matter of life. I can't worry about no firewood. Danzo fled, Uchiha Shisui suddenly relieved, and immediately relieved Susanoo. Just after the blow, he also ran out of fuel, so Uchiha Shisui left immediately in order to prevent Danzo from hitting the carbine. Sure enough, not long after, Danzo came again with someone, but he was very angry because he didn't see Uchiha Shisui. Uchiha Shisui, you won't live long. I don't believe you can remove the poison specially made by the root tissue. Danzo looked gloomy. Go find out where Uchiha Shisui is, and if he dies, let me know. Danzo instructed his subordinates. Mangekyo Sharingan is mine, Danzo said gloomily, clenching his fists. The ninja of the root organization took the lead and immediately left to find the whereabouts of Uchiha Shisui. When Danzo was about to leave with a gloomy face, he happened to meet Sarutobi Hiruzen who came with Anbu. The two looked at each other, silent. Chapter 336 Shisui's Death. Danzo, why are you here? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked gloomily. Susanoo's movement is not small. Although it is remote, it is still discovered by Anbu ninjas all over Konoha, and then reports to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't dare to neglect after hearing this, and rushed over with a few Anbu ninjas, but as soon as he arrived, he saw Danzo. No need to ask now, the movement just now was definitely caused by Danzo. Why am I here? I don't seem to need to report to you. Danzo said rudely. What the hell happened here? Did you do it? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked, frowning. Humph. Danzo snorted coldly, ignoring Sarutobi Hiruzen, and wanted to leave. But Sarutobi Hiruzen wouldn't let Danzo leave until he figured it out, and his body blocked Danzo's way. As the Hokage of the village, I am qualified to know everything that happens in the village. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes were very serious, and instinct told him that Danzo must have made a fool of himself again. The green Susanoo before, was it Uchiha Shisui's? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked seriously. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen did not see it, Anbu ninja saw Susanoo and described it to Sarutobi Hiruzen, and Sarutobi Hiruzen roughly guessed it. That's right, it's from Uchiha Shisui. Danzo didn't hide it, because it wasn't necessary, and sooner or later, Sarutobi Hiruzen would find out. You shot him. Sarutobi Hiruzen made Anbu ninja back, frowning at Danzo. He knew that Danzo wouldn't be safe, but he didn't expect to attack Uchiha Shisui. Sarutobi, you also understand that his Mangekyo Sharingan's pupil technique is too strong. There is no guarantee that he will not have a bad heart with Konoha. Can you guarantee that he will always be loyal to Konoha? Danzo asked lightly. Sarutobi Hiruzen is silent, People's hearts can change, and he can't guarantee that Uchiha Shisui will always be loyal to Konoha. He also knew about Koto Amatsukami. Uchiha Chingchung has this pupil technique. Although it has no effect on Hyuga-chen, it does not mean that he is immune to this pupil technique. Sarutobi Hiruzen was terrified just thinking about it if he was controlled silently. Although he is loyal to Konoha, he is also a member of the Uchiha family. Between Uchiha and Konoha, can you guarantee that he will choose Konoha? Danzo said again. And, Sarutobi Hiruzen gave Danzo a deep look and turned away. This is the last time and I don't want it to happen a second time. Danzo sneered, some things have to. ... Shisui, what's the matter with you? Uchiha Itachi looked at Shisui's embarrassed appearance and asked anxiously. Among Konoha, his only friend is Shisui. The relationship between him and Shisui is also a teacher and a friend. Now seeing Shisui's tragic state, Uchiha Itachi can't keep calm. You're right. It's that guy from Danzo. He used the Uchiha family to deceive me, and then took the opportunity to sneak up on me and stole my Sharingan. Now I'm afraid I won't survive. Uchiha Shisui said with a wry smile. How could it be? Uchiha Itachi looked at Shisui's injury. Although serious, it couldn't possibly kill him. I've been poisoned and won't live much longer. Uchiha Shisui shook his head with a wry smile. What? I'm going to Danzo for an antidote. Don't go, it's impossible for Danzo to give it to you. Not to mention the behavior of the root organization, I'm afraid they have no antidote. Uchiha Shisui said with a wry smile. Uchiha Itachi was silent. Uchiha Shisui suddenly gouged out his left eye and handed it to Uchiha Itachi. Shisui, what are you? Uchiha Itachi looked at Shisui blankly, not understanding what he meant. The power of Koto Amatsukami is too strong, and it must not fall into the hands of outsiders. I can rest assured that I will hand Koto Amatsukami to you. Uchiha Shisui grinned, revealing an ugly smile. I hope my death will wake up the Uchiha people and stop the coup d'état, Uchiha Shisui said softly. He is one of the highest combat powers of the Uchiha family. Perhaps his death, the loss of his highest combat power, can dissuade the clansmen from launching a coup d'état. Itachi, although I don't know what you are going to do, please be firm in your choice. After Uchiha Shisui finished speaking, he chose to commit suicide by throwing himself into the river. Uchiha Itachi closed his eyes without stopping. After a while, Uchiha Itachi opened his eyes, and his eyes had become Mangekyo Sharingan. Sharingan left by Shisui in his hand, Uchiha Itachi sat down silently until the sunset completely disappeared, and after night came, Uchiha Itachi stood up and walked towards the clan. Master Konoha who were elated and discussed launching a coup d'état. Uchiha Itachi couldn't help clenching his fists. Enough, one clan, your eyes can only see one clan. Uchiha Itachi said in a low voice. Uchiha tribe, who had been discussing happily, suddenly fell silent and looked at Uchiha Itachi with a trace of unhappiness in their eyes. Uchiha Itachi, what do you mean? Don't think that you are the son of the patriarch, and we dare not teach you a lesson. Even if I teach you a lesson, the patriarch won't say anything. I think this guy is a traitor of our Uchiha family. As a member of the Uchiha family, if you don't care about the family, who cares? Do you want to think about Konoha? Hearing the clan's sarcasm, Uchiha Itachi's fist burst with blue veins. Shut up all of you. He came to a Uchiha man in an instant and kicked him in the stomach. This burly Uchiha clansman flew backwards and smashed through a wall. Damn, you actually did it. Let's see how powerful you are. Uchiha's people were angry. They took out kunai and killed Uchiha Itachi. Facing the rushing Uchiha tribesmen, Uchiha Itachi Mangekyo Sharingan opened, and the huge blood pressure made them unable to open Sharingan. You can't even open your eyes in front of me, Uchiha Itachi said with a blank expression. Aoni-san, Uchiha Sasuke called softly. Uchiha Itachi's face suddenly softened, and Mangekyo Sharingan put it away, ignoring the terrified Uchiha clan, and turned to look at his younger brother. Sasuke, are you out of school? Yeah, Uchiha Sasuke nodded. He was extremely cold and arrogant in front of others, but when facing Uchiha Itachi, Uchiha Sasuke shed his cold and arrogance. Uchiha Itachi reached out and touched Sasuke Uchiha, and said to himself, Sasuke, I won't let you do anything. Uchiha Fugaku in the distance, put all this in his eyes flickered slightly, and he didn't know what he was thinking. Uchiha Itachi sensed that someone was peeping, looked into the distance, and saw a back that he was very familiar with. I'm sorry, father. Uchiha Itachi bowed his head and said in a voice only he could hear. Chapter 337 Uchiha Itachi's Final Decision. Uchiha Shisui was dead, and his body was found. This time, the Uchiha family exploded, and even Uchiha Fugaku's face was ugly. Konoha is strong, and even if the other big families don't stop them, Uchiha Fugaku is not sure to win. Now one of the highest fighting powers of the Uchiha family, Uchiha Shisui threw himself into the river, which greatly damaged the confidence of the tribe. But they do not believe that Uchiha Shisui committed suicide. Although Uchiha Shisui left a letter saying that he committed suicide, but the scars on his body, no one believes that he committed suicide. This must be the work of the top Konoha, damn Sarutobi Hiruzen. Yes, I also think it was the hands of the higher-ups of Konoha, and I'm at odds with them. Do you think Uchiha Itachi did this? It seems that Shisui met Uchiha Itachi before he died, said a Uchiha tribesman. Silence, everyone was silent. Go to Uchiha Itachi and ask, if he really killed Shisui, even the identity of the patriarch's son can't keep him. The Uchiha people went to Uchiha Itachi angrily and asked Uchiha Itachi to explain, how did Shisui die? Does it have anything to do with him? The face of the questioning of the 470 clan, Uchiha Itachi did not say a word, as if acquiescing, which made the Uchiha clan even more angry, and even took the matter to the patriarch Uchiha Fugaku. Tell me, did you kill Shisui? Uchiha Fugaku looked at Uchiha Itachi seriously. If Uchiha Shisui really died in the hands of Uchiha Itachi, then Uchiha Fugaku himself would never let him go. No, Uchiha Itachi shook his head and left with a little scared Uchiha Sasuke on his face. Looking at Uchiha Itachi's back, Uchiha Fugaku sighed. However, this incident made the Uchiha people have a deeper prejudice against Uchiha Itachi, and even proposed to expel him from the Uchiha family. A few days later, seeing that the clan did not give up the coup at all, Uchiha Itachi finally confirmed his choice, that is to destroy the Uchiha clan, but he did not want his younger brother Sasuke to die. So Uchiha Itachi found 3 generations of Hokage. Itachi, you are here, what's the matter? 3 generations of Hokage asked gently. Uchiha is helpless, they have been blinded by power, so I decided to destroy the Uchiha family. Uchiha Itachi said in a deep voice. It's up to you to destroy the Uchiha clan. Danzo pushed in the door, followed by 2 of Konoha's advisors. Looking back at Danzo, Uchiha Itachi flashed a killing intent in his eyes, but in the end Uchiha Itachi held back the killing intent in his heart. Just this, is it enough? Uchiha Itachi turned on Mangekyo Sharingan and looked at Danzo coldly. He and Shisui were both teachers and friends, but Shisui died at the hands of Danzo, and now seeing that the enemy can't take revenge, Uchiha Itachi is also very painful. Tisk tisk, I clearly have a big hatred with Danzo, but I have endured it because of the overall situation. Should I admire you or ridicule you? Hyuga-chan leaned in front of Hokage's office with an inexplicable smile on his mouth. Why are you here? Danzo turned sharply, hatred in his eyes. I haven't seen you in years. Danzo, you still hate me. Hyuga-chan walked in and persuaded Danzo, who was full of hatred. You have to learn to let go of hatred to make tomorrow a better place. Humph. Danzo snorted coldly. For Hyuga-chan, he could never forget. His right eye and right arm were lost because of Hyuga-chan, and the Shimura family was destroyed because of Hyuga-chan. There is no Shimura family in Konoha now, because all Shimura family members except Danzo are dead. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned. The last person he wanted to see in his life was Hyuga-chen. The hatred between him and Hyuga-chen, Konoha will have a lot of trouble every time he sees Hyuga-chen. You guys continue, don't pay attention to me, it's fine as long as I don't exist. Hyuga-chen unceremoniously found a chair and sat down. Silent, no one spoke. Just keep discussing. What happened to Konoha can't be hidden from me. I saw Danzo chasing and killing Uchiha Shisui the other day. Danzo gave Hyuga-chen a gloomy look. A trace of killing intent flashed in Uchiha Itachi's eyes, but it finally dissipated. After Hyuga-chen saw it, he felt a little boring. Danzo clearly felt Uchiha Itachi's murderous aura, his eyes narrowed slightly, and endless chills emerged from his body. For Uchiha Itachi, who can threaten him, it is better to eradicate it. At this time, Danzo was already planning in his mind how to kill Uchiha Itachi, especially the Mangekyo Sharingan displayed by Uchiha Itachi, which made Danzo coveted. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Hyuga-chen who was sitting next to me eating melons. The corners of his mouth twitched, and he really came to the Hokage office to eat melons. Itachi, think about it again. The Uchiha family is also a member of our Konoha, and I still hope to coexist peacefully. Sarutobi Hiruzen said. Fake, Hyuga-chen and Danzo said at the same time. An embarrassed look appeared on Sarutobi Hiruzen's face, and anger rose in his heart. Damn it, why are you imitating me, believe it or not? Hyuga-chen gestured at Danzo with a fist. Danzo's face was so ugly that he wanted to die, but he had to bear it. Danzo wasn't someone without self-awareness. Knowing that he is not Hyuga-chen's opponent, he chose to remain silent. Seeing that Danzo was silent, Hyuga-chen felt a little boring. He was about to scold Danzo, but Danzo closed his mouth. I will personally destroy the Uchiha family, but the condition is that Sasuke must live. As a reward, I will go undercover in a mysterious organization and pass on the information of their organization to you. Uchiha Itachi said. You like being an undercover agent so much. Hyuga-chen groaned inwardly. Mysterious organization. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned. That's right, I heard that it was an organization composed of S-rank missing nin, and I was invited to join by a masked man wearing a Uzumaki mask, who claimed to be Uchiha Madara. What? A masked man wearing a Uzumaki mask? Sarutobi Hiruzen stood up in shock. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen remembered the culprit of the Kyuubi, Nine Tails uprising, and he was also wearing the Uzumaki mask. Does he know space ninjutsu? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked quickly. Yes, he does use space ninjutsu and can easily sneak into Konoha. Uchiha Itachi nodded. It looks like it's really him. Sarutobi Hiruzen rubbed his temples. Kyuubi Nine Tails incident. It can be said that Konoha lost a lot, and the ninja who died in battle do not know how many. Okay, I promise you, Uchiha Sasuke will be fine within Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded and agreed. But Danzo was not happy. In his opinion, the people of the Uchiha family are all cancers. It is best to clean them up and leave none of them, otherwise it may cause trouble later. This time Danzo's guess is still accurate. Didn't Danzo choose to die with Uchiha Sasuke because he was forced into a desperate situation by Uchiha Sasuke? Just that Uchiha Sasuke has the aura of the protagonist, so only Danzo died. Chapter 338 Why did I tell you? Sarutobi, I am against this matter. Danzo jumped out and said without hesitation. Let go of Uchiha Sasuke. How is this possible? Danzo not only doesn't want to let go of Uchiha Sasuke, but also wants to kill Uchiha Itachi and get his Mangekyo. A cold light flashed in Uchiha Itachi's eyes, and Sasuke was the inverse scale of Uchiha Itachi. Danzo, this matter is settled. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Danzo and said lightly. Uchiha Itachi asked. Sarutobi Hiruzen agreed without hesitation at all. He did it for the sake of Uchiha Itachi's heart, and more importantly for the mask and the mysterious organization's intelligence. Hyuga-chen watched with interest, and the two advisors, Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Yuditane, did not interrupt. Sarutobi Hiruzen, can you guarantee that Sasuke Uchiha will not betray Konoha in the future? Danzo snapped. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not speak. Of course he could not guarantee this. If Sasuke really betrays Konoha, you can imprison him, but it's better not to hurt his life. Uchiha Itachi looked directly at Sarutobi Hiruzen. Hyuga-chen shook his head, and in Uchiha Itachi's heart, which of the two Jinchuriki column sons in Konoha is higher, this is a question. Yes, I believe that Sasuke will not betray Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded and said, not so much trusting Uchiha Sasuke, but despising Uchiha Sasuke. Although Uchiha Sasuke is also a genius, compared with Uchiha Itachi, it is a little far behind. Sarutobi. Danzo's dead mother's face was ugly now. Danzo, I'm Konoha's Hokage, and I don't need you to dictate my decisions. Sarutobi Hiruzen was a rare tough one. Danzo looked at the two advisors, Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Yuditane. We think it's fine, too, Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Yuditane said, looking at each other. Like Sarutobi Hiruzen thought, they didn't think Uchiha Sasuke could make much of a storm. Humph. Danzo angrily found a place to sit down. He always believed that leaving a remnant is always a disaster, and it would be better to get rid of it as soon as possible. Uchiha Itachi frowned, looking like he was going to give Danzo a chance to warn him, otherwise he might do something. Lord Sandai, I'm leaving first. Uchiha Itachi said goodbye to Sandai. Yeah, if you need anything, just come to me. Sarutobi Hiruzen said solemnly. He said this completely because he was afraid that Uchiha Itachi would not be able to solve the Uchiha family. Uchiha Itachi left the Hokage office without asking for help. Danzo looked at Hyuga-chen, then Sarutobi Hiruzen, and slammed the door angrily. Damn it, I didn't provoke you this time. Did I give you a face? Come back if you have the ability. Hyuga-chen stood up and rolled up his sleeves. Danzo, who hasn't gone far, has a tight face, and immediately uses the instant body technique to quickly leave. Two consultants who came to play oil, saw Hyuga-chen's unhappy expression, and left quickly, for fear that Hyuga-chen would take their anger out of them. As for it makes me look like a wild beast. Hyuga-chen walked towards the door. He was also here to beat the Chan oil, and he was meant to be a melon eater. The play is gone, it's time to go back. Wait. Just as Hyuga-chen was about to step out of Hokage's office, Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly stopped Hyuga-chen. What's the matter with you? Hyuga-chen stared at Sarutobi Hiruzen with dead fish eyes. This expression is very irritating. Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to punch him, but reason overcomes impulse. Although a punch may be very relieved, the consequences are not what he wants, not to mention that he has to be able to hit. Do you know the masked man who attacked Konoha? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked. In Sarutobi Hiruzen's mind, Hyuga-chen should know the masked person. After all, Hyuga-chen used to walk around in the ninja world, so it's hard to tell if he doesn't know. You mean Uchiha, the masked man? Of course I know that, but why did I tell you? Sarutobi Hiruzen's mind sells batches. But seeing your sincere question, then I'll tell you. Hyuga-chen stepped out and retracted his foot again. Hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen pricked up his ears and his expression became serious. Actually, the masked man is from the Uchiha family. After speaking, Hyuga-chen walked away with a dashing stride, leaving behind Sarutobi Hiruzen with a confused look. Sarutobi Hiruzen felt like he was being tricked. He also knew that the masked man was from the Uchiha family. After all, Sharingan was there. After a long time, Sarutobi Hiruzen completely recovered, shook his head with a wry smile. How could that guy Hyuga-chen believe it? Sadly, he really thought Hyuga-chen would tell him before. By the way, when will Uchiha Itachi start? Go and see how he exterminates the clan. Hyuga-chen thought to himself as he walked down the street. When passing the candy store, Hyuga-chen stopped and walked in to buy some candy for Hinata. He bought it for Hinata, definitely not for him to eat. He is so old, how could he still eat candy? Hyuga-chen peeled off a lollipop, put it in his mouth, and tasted Hinata first, otherwise what if it didn't taste good? Hyuga-chen himself felt that he was being too considerate, so he decided to eat a bantang later in order to reward himself. Hyuga-chen bought a lot of candies. This is definitely not to abduct little Loli. Hyuga-chen guarantees with his own personality, even if he adds morals. That's Yamanaka's flower shop. Hyuga-chen saw Yamanaka Inoichi sitting in the shop at a glance. Hey, why did you come here to see the shop? You're not a ninja. Hyuga-chen walked into the shop and tapped on the table. Ah, Chestnut, I'm definitely not slacking off. Yamanaka Inoichi stood up suddenly, cold sweat on his nervous forehead. Just based on your words, your status in the family has been exposed at a glance. Hyuga-chen looked at him with contempt. I'm scared to death, I thought it was Chestnuts. Yamanaka Inoichi breathed a sigh of relief when he saw that it was Hyuga-chen. What are you doing at the flower shop? It's rare that you want to buy flowers to please other girls. Yamanaka Inoichi said unhappily. I tell you, my status in the family is not low. Haha. Ino has already told me that your status at home is on the same level as a dog. No, it seems that even a dog can't compare. Hyuga-chen sneered. Haha. Damn, that girl keeps saying anything, and doesn't care about her father's face. Yamanaka Inoichi angrily banged on the table. Don't be angry, I'll give you a candy. Hyuga-chen picked out the smallest candy and handed it to Yamanaka Inoichi. I'm already an adult, it's too embarrassing to eat this kind of candy. He said ashamed, but Yamanaka Inoichi still took it. Can I take it back to my daughter if I don't eat it myself? Chapter 339 Hyuga Hanabi. Why does it look like a shop here? Hyuga-chen took a chair and sat down. I haven't had a mission recently, and even if I have a mission, I'm not short of that money, Yamanaka Inoichi said. Don't underestimate the flower shop. Almost all the flower shops in Konoha are run by the Yamanaka family. Whether it is to confess, to visit patients, or to lay the foundation for matsuri, flowers are needed. So this flower shop can make a lot of money, and the Yamanaka, Akamichi, and Nara clans are not bad. But these are not the reasons for Yamanaka Inoichi not to do the task, but his wife Yamanaka Chestnuts let him come here to see the shop. So Yamanaka Inoichi decisively refused the task, and then ran here to see the shop. Nara Shikaku and Akamichi Choza could only secretly scold Yamanaka Inoichi for being strict with his wife, and then the two of them went on a mission. They did not perform their tasks to make money. As the patriarch of a family, how could they be short of money? The reason why he has to go out to perform tasks when he becomes the head of the clan is to keep his combat effectiveness from declining, and the second is because Konoha is currently understaffed. With Yamanaka Inoichi for a while, Hyuga-chen left with a few pots of flowers, not the finished flowers that were sold, but those grown by the Yamanaka family, which have not bloomed yet. I have nothing to do, Hyuga-chen is going to grow flowers and plant grass. It was only noon when Hyuga-chen went back. Hinata was not at home and went to school at the ninja school, and usually did not come back at noon. Hyuga-chen put down the flowers and plants, watered them, and went out to find something to eat. It doesn't matter if she doesn't eat, but Hyuga-chen is used to it, and if she doesn't eat, she feels empty inside. Brother Chen. Hearing Mengmeng's voice, Hyuga-chen conditioned reflexively to take out his wave candy. So it's Hanabi. I'll give you a candy. Hyuga-chen walked over with a smile and handed the candy to Hanabi. Hanabi, who is more than 1 year old, took over the wave bantang, and her face was very happy. How did you get out, Hanabi? Hyuga-chen patted Hyuga Hanabi's little head. I'm here to invite Brother Chen to my house for dinner, Hanabi said while holding the wave candy and hugging Hyuga-chen's leg. Go to your house for dinner. That's fine. Hyuga-chen shook his head momentarily at the thought of eating with the serious and terrifying Hyuga Hiyashi. Hearing this, Hyuga Hanabi lowered his head in disappointment. How about I take you out to eat, brother? Hyuga-chen squatted down and picked up little Hanabi. Okay. Hyuga Hanabi's eyes flashed with yearning, which is yearning for the outside world. She has never been out of the Hyuga family since she was born. Master Chen, this doesn't seem right, said the ninja who followed behind and was in charge of looking at Hyuga Hanabi. If Hyuga Hanabi ran out and the patriarch knew about it, he would definitely not be able to eat kabuto and walk away. What's wrong? I'm going out. Brother Chen, can you take me out? Hanabi said, grabbing Hyuga Chen's clothes. Okay, don't drag me, I'll take you out. Hyuga-chen nodded and said. Hanabi then loosened Hyuga-chan's clothes. You go and tell Hyuga Hiyashi, just say I took her out, don't worry. He won't embarrass you. Hyuga-chen patted the Hyuga clansman on the shoulder, and then left with Hanabi. This Hyuga clan wants to cry but has no tears. You said it lightly, but facing the serious and scary face of the patriarch, what should I say? He could only follow in a depressed mood. Anyway, as long as the second lady is safe and brings her back safely, she should be fine. Hyuga-chen didn't care about the little tale that followed, just follow. But after this guy goes back, it is estimated that it will be really miserable. Hyuga Hiyashi must be waiting for Hanabi to go back. If this guy reports, maybe he will be fine, but his brain is not enough, so he came out. Wow, there are so many people. It's not the same as mine. Hanabi looked at the people around him curiously. He first came out. Hanabi was very curious to see everything outside. The guards who followed behind looked a little bad. The second lady was so excited that she might not go back for a while. He no longer followed stupidly, and hurried back to inform Hyuga Hiyashi of the incident. Of course, what awaited him would be a scolding from Hyuga Hiyashi. The nasty guy who was following is finally gone. Hanabi's voice revealed joy. Hanabi couldn't be more disgusted with the escort her father arranged for her. Every time she wanted to do something, she would be stopped. It was so disgusting. Your father is also trying to protect your safety. Hyuga-chen pinched Hanabi's small face. Don't pinch my face, I'll be ugly when I grow up. What do you know at such a young age? Hyuga-chen pinched her little face and tugged gently. Damn, I know everything, don't treat me like a child all day long. Hanabi puffed up her cheeks and said dissatisfiedly. You are a child, don't pretend to be mature and say something funny, a child should look like a child. Hyuga-chen pulled Hanabi's ear. Damn, it hurts. Woohoo. I'm not trying hard. Hyuga-chen looked at Hanabi, and then found that she was actually pretending to cry. You actually learn to pretend to cry, you have the ability. Hyuga-chen said viciously. Hee. Hanabi smiled, not afraid of Hyuga-chen at all. Brother Chen, let's go to school. Let's go see my sister who is going to school, okay. Hanabi used the coquettish dafa to Hyuga-chen. Hanabi's coquettish dafa is very useful, causing a 100% crit to Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen promised to take Hanabi to school to see her sister. You can go to see your sister, but let's eat first, and we'll talk about it after eating. Hyuga-chen brought Hanabi to the food court. After eating, Hyuga-chen brought Hanabi to the ninja school. It's a big school, it feels bigger than our Hyuga family. Hyuga Hanabi said in surprise. Hanabi, don't be surprised all the time, it's embarrassing. Shame, I don't think so. Hanabi bit his finger. Let's go, take you to Hinata's class. Hyuga-chen walked towards Hinata's class with Hanabi in his arms. Put me down and I'll go by myself. Hyuga-chen is still holding Hanabi and letting Hanabi go by himself, isn't this a joke? How long does it take to walk with Hanabi's short legs? You're walking too slowly. When you get there, it is estimated that Hinata should also be out of school. Why am I so slow? Do you think I'm a turtle? I'm so pissed off. Hanabi pouted angrily. However, Hanabi didn't have to quarrel to get down and go by herself. Staying in Hyuga-chen's arms, she felt very comfortable and warm, and now she doesn't want to come down. Before she said she wanted to come down, it was because she was afraid that others would laugh at her after seeing it, otherwise she would not want to come down. Chapter 340 Dead Guy. Hey, this is the ninja school, when will a little girl be allowed in? A bear child who looked like a bear blocked Hyuga-chen's way. Hyuga-chen looked at the Uchiha family emblem on his clothes and raised his brows. Is this guy here to kill? Does this guy know that Uchiha Itachi is going to exterminate the clan, and he won't live long, so he wants to find excitement? It turned out to be a little girl from the Hyuga family. Do you have the guts to fight with me, Uchiha Yase? Hyuga-chen smiled. He originally thought he was shameless enough, but seeing this guy, Hyuga-chen expressed that he was ashamed. Neji, that little girl seems to be from your clan. Do you want to help and teach that bastard Uchiha Yase a lesson by the way? Little Lee said with his fist clenched. Don't get too close to me, I don't know you well. Hyuga Neji pushed Lee Rock away. Damn guy, you don't go, I'll help. Lee Rock clenched his fists and was about to rush up. But the next second he stayed there, only to see Uchiha 28 flying over 100 meters, smashing a big hole in the ground. Lee Rock swallowed his saliva and looked at Hyuga-chen not far away in horror. Hyuga-chen turned his head to look at Lee Rock and recognized him at a glance. After all, his thick eyebrows and pot head are very easy to identify. Hyuga-chen still has a good impression of Lee Rock, guy, and might die. However, Might Dai was already dead, and he still opened 8 doors and killed a few ninja swords and 7 people to death. Although the 7 ninja swordsmen died because of Hyuga-chen, 2 of them even had their swords destroyed, but Might Dai is still dead, and it can only be said that this is the turning of the gears of fate. However, the 7 ninja swordsmen should also change their names, because it will never be possible to gather the 7 ninja swords again. Seeing Lee Rock, Hyuga-chen also stopped going to Hanada's class, almost forgot that it was all practice classes in the afternoon, and there was no one to go to the class. Relying on observation haki, Hyuga-chen easily caught Hanada's position and walked towards the training ground of Hanada's class. Why are you going over there? Isn't it to my sister's class? Hyuga Hanabi asked suspiciously. Right now, Hanada is not in the class. The afternoon classes at ninja school are practical classes, so I can only go to the training ground prepared by the school. Hyuga-chen explained. Brother Chen, what happened to that guy? Hanabi pointed behind him. She was referring to the dragon set of the Uchiha family who was slapped by Hyuga-chen. Don't worry about it, he has now gone to see the old 6 paths for tea. He slapped him and flew hundreds of meters, and with that guy's fragile body, it was already out of shape. Oh, Hyuga Hanabi nodded. After Hyuga-chen left with Hanabi in his arms, the students who were watching from a distance walked up to Uchiha Yase to see his tragic condition. The sight made them vomit, because Uchiha Yase was bloody and flesh, Chan. Killing. A terrified shout came from behind. Hyuga-chen ignored it. Anyway, when the clan would be exterminated in a few days, he would also die, and now it is only a few days early. Soon they came to the training ground for the Hanada class. Sister, Hyuga Hanabi shouted loudly. Hyuga Hinata, who was training, raised her head and looked here, seeing Hyuga-chen and Hanabi with surprises in her eyes. Sister, I'm here to see you, are you happy? Hanabi jumped from Hyuga-chen's arms to Hanada's arms. I'm very happy, but Hanabi, did your father let you out? Hanada asked suspiciously. Her father's management of Hanabi was very strict. Hearing this, Hanabi stuck out his tongue and said, Brother Chen brought me here. It's okay, I'll take Hanabi out. Hyuga Hiyashi won't say anything. Seeing the worry on Hanada's face, Hyuga-chen said with a smile. Brother Chen, why are you here? Sakura ran over. What, don't you guys welcome me? Hyuga-chen asked with a smile. No, of course not unwelcome, Sakura said quickly. Ah, Sakura, you are running really fast. Then Ino ran over and stared at Sakura angrily. Humph, Ino pig. Sakura snorted, raising her head. Damn wide forehead, are you trying to get into a fight with me? Ino said, clenching his fists. Come here, do you think I'll be afraid of you? Sakura did not show weakness. Of course, if there was a real fight, Ino would definitely be stronger. During the ninja school period, especially not long after entering school, there was a big gap in strength between commoners and students from family backgrounds. This point is unavoidable even for the fourth generation of Hokage Namikaze Minato. In the first year of school, Namikaze Minato's strength was 10th in the class. Wow, who is this, so handsome? Sasuke can't compare to him. Yes, Sasuke will be handed over to you from today. I'm going to pursue this handsome guy. The little girl who originally surrounded Sasuke suddenly disappeared. This made Sasuke feel very sad and hurt. Although he didn't care about these little girls. But when they left suddenly and went to surround someone more handsome than his brother, Sasuke must have felt awkward. It felt as if something that belonged to him was suddenly taken away by an unknown person. Sasuke, who felt forced and damaged, stood up abruptly, his cold and arrogant face a little ugly. Ha 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 ha, I thought you stinky bastard wouldn't have any other expressions. Uzumaki Naruto looked at Uchiha Sasuke's ugly face, covered his stomach and laughed. HMPH, what did you say at the end of the crane? Uchiha Sasuke looked at Uzumaki Naruto angrily. Say what's wrong with you. If you have the ability, you will duel with me. Uzumaki looked at Uchiha Sasuke affectionately. You are a crane tail. What qualifications do you have to duel with me? I have no interest in wasting time with a crane tail. Uchiha Sasuke dismissed Uzumaki Naruto. At this time, Uzumaki Naruto was indeed weak and pitiful, mainly due to poor physical development. Tenten ate junk food, and sometimes he was not full, so his strength was naturally not strong. That's why at the beginning of the story, Naruto was the shortest in the 7th class, even Sakura couldn't compare. If Namikaze Minato knew, he asked Sarutobi Hiruzen to help him take care of his son, but his son didn't even have enough to eat. I don't know how he would feel. Naruto, the person you like is over there too, ha ha ha. Inuzuka Kiba patted Uzumaki Naruto, who stared at Uchiha Sasuke. What? Uzumaki Naruto then reacted, looking at Sakura surrounded by Hyuga-chen, and immediately bit Kiba and gnashed his teeth. This guy is nasty, Uzumaki exclaimed. Ha ha ha, Inuzuka Kiba let out a wanton laugh. Kiba, you bastard, if you dare to laugh again, I'll break your mouth. Uzumaki Naruto clenched his fist and looked at Inuzuka Kiba. Will this uncle be afraid of you? Come and practice with this uncle if you have the ability. Inuzuka Kiba said arrogantly. At the same time, his ninja dog Akamaru barked at Uzumaki Naruto, but since he hasn't grown up yet, his deterrent is 0.